when he was selected to join his father in the Series Hall of Fame. Earnhardt will be inducted in Charlotte, North Carolina, along with late Mike Stefanik and 87-year-old Red Farmer, who is planning to race on Talladega's dirt track this weekend. Despite never winning a series championship, Earnhardt received 76% of the votes cast in the modern era ballot. Just talking about it, it feels really emotional because I feed off of affirmation, Junior said. It's such a great feeling to know people think I made an impact. I know what my numbers are, and I feel like I was chosen because of that, but also for the impact I made off the track being an ambassador for the sport. For your ESPN Pensacola Sports Headlines, I'm JP.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother is somebody you have to take care of.
It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years.
There are students who need somebody.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
Communities in Schools is lowering America's dropout rate by helping more than 1.3 million kids every year get whatever they need to succeed in school.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
Communities in Schools vouched for me when everyone else had lost hope.
You can help change the picture of education right here in your community and across the nation. Visit communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
Sylvan success story number 4,092.
In 5th grade, we started noticing some problems, and it really changed our world. Sylvan gives parents like me hope. She's done a complete 180, and she's getting all A's and B's on her own. There's no more fighting about homework. I know that it's gonna get turned in, and I know that she's gonna rock it.
Start your own Sylvan success story. Call 1-800-EDUCATE or visit sylvanlearning.com.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Live on the ESPN app.
Welcome back. A couple of minutes remaining in the third hour of the program, and Hugh is in North Carolina. Hello, Hugh.
Good afternoon, Paul. I hope you don't mind me changing the subject.
Please.
I'm wondering what type of performance-enhancing drug program the PGA has for its members. I saw something this weekend that absolutely knocked me off of the couch. I watched a kid named Bryson DeChambeau last fall playing with Tiger Woods in the President's Cup, a svelte, slender, strong, great young athlete, and he looked like somebody had pumped him up with air. He'd gained 85 pounds of muscle. Paul, I don't know where you come from on this subject, but I think it's a physical impossibility to add that kind of muscle mass at the dinner table in a workout machine.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, I don't know. And by the way, not that I play golf anymore, but you do. That is not exactly recommended for golf.
Hell no. And I am of the opinion, if the truth is ever told down the line by Tiger Woods, a lot of the serious orthopedic problems he's had are associated with what he was doing to gain that muscle mass. And here's my concern, Paul. In professional athletes with the kind of paychecks and the glory involved, there's a hell of a lot of monkey see, monkey do. And the last thing we need to see is a whole generation of great young athletes playing golf, loading up on steroids and human growth hormone.
Totally agree.
Anyhow, I'll throw that out. I don't know what the answer to that is. Hopefully somebody will call. As far as your callers, man, I'm going to tell you, Willie and William, I could take a steady diet of those dudes every day.
I agree. They were fantastic. Well, Hugh, thank you.
Yeah, you know, Paul, what we have here, we've got mostly more of a political than a racial problem. And let's be prayerfully hopeful that our elected delegates that we have in D.C. will come to meaningful solutions that will help people everywhere.
I hope so.
Particularly in black culture.
Totally agree.
Thank you, Paul.
Always a pleasure. We go from one North Carolina call to another. Logan is on the air. Go right ahead.
Hey, Paul. It's a pleasure as usual.
Thanks
for taking my call. I was going to talk about Gandhi, but I think we've already yesterday we pretty much know he's a garbage guy. So I just wanted to get in real quick before the break. Just wanted to ask you, last week I didn't get to call in, but I was really moved by what you said about your parents and how you said that, you didn't have a lot of money when you were a kid, but, obviously they taught you, they were good people. They taught you the right way. And, I think it was Willie or William was asking you asked him if he thinks anything would change nowadays. I think it will. I've had some great conversation with my parents. I mean, they're pushing 80, and some of the best conversations I've ever had with them has been recently. And, a lot of that has to do with your show, what you're doing, and bringing that awareness to people that normally I just don't think they get that kind of news or they don't get that opinion. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to ask you a personal thing. If it gets too personal, just say, I don't want to answer that. But
sure.
So I was reading in the news about, your whole situation with ESPN, and I could kind of tell last year you were under the weather and they kept making you go up to New York. But I read a quote where you said you're having more fun or you're enjoying it more now in the last 3 months than you have in a long time, even though we're not talking about sports. And, I'm the first one. I want to talk about football all the time. But I just want to get your opinion on that, and, how you feel about that. Are you,
Yeah, well, I did an interview the other day, and somebody asked me about my situation at ESPN, and I said the last 3 months have been the most meaningful of my career, and they have been. And it's been the COVID conversation, and lately the conversation about race and how it fits into our portion of the world. And I meant that, I hope that interview put to bed some of the conversation that had been out there. Hey, thank you for bringing that up. We are heading to a break, and we'll have one more hour. We'll actually talk about college football in the next segment, which may be the first all week. We'll be right back.
Could your car use a spring cleaning? Now's the time to stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new. Like Mother's California Gold Wash and Wax, just $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. That's a $6 savings. Or online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
For your Gulf Coast Sports Minute, I'm JP. In the third round of the 2020 MLB Draft, the Texas Rangers selected Pine Forest Eagles pitcher TK Roby. The right-handed Roby has 3 solid pitches with a high spin rate fastball at 96+, a potential plus curveball, as well as a solid changeup. For TK, he led the Eagles to their first regional final appearance in 12 years last year and finished his junior year with a 7-3 record along with a 1.19 ERA, 109 strikeouts, and just 10 walks. In our recruiting spotlight this week, Eric Smith Jr. from the Washington Wildcats. At 6'4", 195, even in double coverage, don't think you're going to outjump Smith. The 3-star recruit ranks as the 141st player in Florida and the 147th receiver in the country. He has over 30 offers right now, including Michigan, Virginia, and Ole Miss, to name a few. For Smith, he caught 54 passes for 628 yards and 5 touchdowns last season in the Wildcats' turnaround 8-2 finish. And I'll tell you right now, this young man is just getting started with a program that you better be on the lookout for. That's your Gulf Coast Sports Minute. I'm JP.
The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Nick Saban has a message for us regarding the coronavirus.
First of all, I hope this message finds you and your family safe and well. On behalf of our program, we want to give thanks to all the medical professionals and caregivers in our state and across the country in these challenging times. Our daily routines have changed dramatically over these past weeks. As we have said to our team, we share the same message to all of you. Please understand the following guidelines of social distancing. We ask that everyone please wash your hands often. Stay at home if at all possible. And when you have to be out in public, make sure you keep 6 feet between you and the nearest person. We are in this together, and as one team, we will get through these difficult times. And together, we look forward to all that's to come, like the opportunity to play college football this fall. But the best and safest way to ensure that happens is to listen to the experts, follow their guidelines, and take care of each other. Stay safe and roll Tide.
For this week in sports history, I'm JP. In 1870, all-pro Cincinnati Red Stockings suffered their first loss in 130 games. In 1869, the Red Stockings had finished a perfect 65-0 before going 67-6-1 in 1870. In 1962, U.S. Open men's golf Oakmont Country Club, Jack Nicklaus wins his first major title by 3 strokes in an 18-hole playoff with Arnold Palmer. Nicknamed the Golden Bear, Nicklaus is widely considered to be one of the greatest golfers of all time. Over a quarter century, he won a record 18 major championships, 3 more than second-place Tiger Woods. In 1984, Edwin Moses wins his 100th consecutive 400-meter hurdles race. Between 1977 and 1987, Moses won 107 consecutive finals, 122 consecutive races, and set the world record in the event 4 times. And in 2019, a baseball jersey belonging to Babe Ruth becomes the most expensive sports memorabilia when it sells for $5.64 million at an auction in New York. That's This Week in Sports History. I'm JP.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, sports call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on the Sports Drive, we'll get to why Major League Baseball thinks in about their 50th negotiation they'll finally get it done. We hope it gets done because we just want to watch baseball. We'll also get to think before you tweet, and also the Mike Leach Bowl. All he has to do is wait 10 years.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, it is caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl. Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. Baldwin beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest, 992 for Gatlin, 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run
by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome into the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I feel like there's something that's going to go down over here with the wiring in a few seconds. That's
looks like it.
It's going to go down for real. Like, not the cool song, like dancing. It's actually going to go down for real. This whole table's. But you know what? It's
Isn't that the gimp leg table?
It is.
That one over there? Okay.
Take my strong hand. Yeah, that is. That's a. It's
Table's seen better days.
Better than the table. I mean, in the desk that was out there. And it was you're playing Russian roulette with that if you put anything on it. Hot coffee right there. Good luck. But it's one of those kind of days. Once again, a lot of soccer going on. All of a sudden, like bam, like an Emerald show on the Cooking Network. We got like 15 soccer games all at once. But still waiting on Major League Baseball to make the proposal. And a lot of people need to understand this year it's going to be a little different because a lot of Major League Baseball fans are regionalized, but when it gets to the postseason, you're going to watch, but it also gets into the thick of college football season or into college football season, a little NFL, and things start to change. Those fair weather fans now are sitting there saying Roll Tide or at their stadium. Right now, people need to understand with NBA basketball coming back, the NHL coming back, college football will be here soon, high school football on Friday nights, we're expecting, especially here in Florida. Got the NFL, who has never veered away from their platform, which they didn't have to. You plug in Roger Goodell, he takes, I think, double A's.
Plug it in.
We will stay and continue to pursue playing football. We are good. Making sure the owners are happy, or the players, or the owners. What year? The protest is bad. The protest is good. The knees. He's short-circuiting everybody. Get to him. Like, at this point, like, he's just a big PR stunt. We know that makes $48 million, so good for him. I'll continue to have the shirt with the clown nose on it. We do understand also, though, that if baseball continues down this path, they're going to lose a lot of fans to the other sports. Those, we were talking about our parents, that as you get older, you can only do so much. Pass out on the couch at 9 o'clock watching one of those Netflix movies. Sometimes if you want to watch baseball, you will, but if you tick a lot of people off, it's going to go down a path that's not looking good. And right now, that's what's happening to baseball. There's some years where people are like, got a case of the Mondays, man, or having like a bad week or a bad year. This is everybody's worst year. Some guy won the lotto out there, and he's like, blank you? I'm like, oh, you know what? All right, we'll find you.
Got it coming.
Yeah, you got a lot of people coming right now. But overall, this is the type of year where when we all look back, 35, 29, doesn't matter your age, we'll say 2020 was crap. It was like the first time we had an MD 2020.
Too young to understand, Chad. You forget that.
What was worse, 2020 or the hangover the next morning from an MD 2020? You have not had that? Oh.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, I was going to.
By 2020, because it's not over yet.
I don't know.
At least I've made it through that.
3 of those bad boys are waking up with the possibility of the corona? I don't.
Yikes.
That's not to say I went 3. Strawberry banana.
To say, how in the world did you go 3?
For the purpose of the story, I'm 21, so I'm thinking, strawberry banana is like a smoothie, right?
No.
Not the malt liquor. Looking, though, at the Major League Baseball, they need to come back. They need to make this happen. And it looks like there's the possibility today. Now, we've been singing this tune for a while, but now it's in the players' hands. We have all these tweets today. Mike Leach. We'll get to him. Mike, I'm sure he tweeted about it. Why not? But Mike Trout and all the guys from talking about Bryce Harper and everybody, they're ready. They said, we are ready to go. We're just waiting. Tell us when and where, and we're there. Well, now they've said 60 games in 70 days. This is from Major League Baseball, who, when we say Major League Baseball, represents the owners, the Rob Manfred side of making this happen. 60 games in 70 days. Season starting July 19th. Full prorated salary, which is a good bargain. Yeah. Golf clap for that one for the players. Expanded playoffs in both this year and next year, and then waiving any potential grievance before that. So play ball in a month.
They said when. They said when.
A
and
month
where.
from today. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, this has to get done, JP.
Yeah, I agree. I think Manfred came out and said at my request, Tony Clark and I met. This is my biggest thing. These guys have not gotten in the same room with each other. Like, what are we doing?
Well, Tony Clark's like 6'9", first
well,
off.
I know.
It better
I
be
know.
a big room to fit everybody in there.
You know, Manfred's got some
He
protection.
stands up and everybody's like, deal's off. I don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah. But think about how crazy this is. These guys have not met in the same room this entire time, and we wonder why they can't come to an agreement. Like, just use common sense. Anyway, regardless, Manfred said Tony Clark and I met for several hours yesterday in Phoenix. He said we left that meeting with a jointly developed framework that we agreed could form the basis of an agreement and subject to conversations with our respective constituents. I summarized that framework numerous times in the meeting and sent Tony a written summary today. Consistent with our own conversations yesterday, I am encouraging the clubs to move forward, and I trust Tony is doing the same. So, I will say this, I am more back on the optimistic side because they met in the same room at least. This is a step forward. It's a shame that here we are a month and a half down the road and we just now met in the room with each other. But regardless, there's been rumors at 65, 70 games. It was 60. It's full prorated salaries. The big thing there is the players will have to waive the grievances. Are they willing to just move on? Or are they going to hold a grudge on this where they can file a grievance later on? I don't know, but what I will say is it's a positive, not because of the games or full prorated salaries, but because, once again, they finally met in the same room. Thank you guys for being grown men. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Looking at some NFL Vegas. I used to say Vegas. Now it's just Sportsbook because other people, that's not fair. We're going to get people that use that term like, well, Vegas has these odds. Like some guy called from Biloxi. How dare you? How dare you? My kids were born in AC, and we take this prideful now in the state of New Jersey, in the rivers of Delaware. Look, it's changed a lot. I always say Vegas. So live there, so I understand it. But the Bears have Nick Foles going out at minus 300. Is this time Mitch Trubisky starts crying himself back through the hallway on the other side, or you think he can win this battle? Can he rise up to the challenge and complete a 4-yard route? I mean,
let me be clear with what I'm about to say.
Okay.
It is not that he can win this battle. It is that I have seen Chicago make worse decisions during this entire time that they will try to hang on to Trubisky. Now, not picking up the fifth-year option gives you the idea they paid for Foles' salary, that maybe that they're going towards Foles. I believe they are. I would hope so, that you pick up that salary that he had there from the Jags and bail them out. But regardless, I don't know. Look, I like Trubisky to the point of the year before when we saw him kind of show out a little bit and then digress and then talking to the media. Then you start to find out what's going on in his head, and that's when it got really scary. And for Foles, I don't think either one of these guys is very good. I'm sorry. I'm not buying either one of them. I'm not buying Foles truly any more than I'm buying Trubisky. I know what he did with Philadelphia was great, but watching him with Jacksonville, I know he got injured later on, but still not impressive. I thought they would have went a different direction in the quarterback battle. If they're serious about moving away from Trubisky, that's why I kind of question this entire thing.
Adam Silver spoke about what's going on in the NBA. Adam Silver, by the way, and we talked about it a little yesterday, but every time he speaks, he's not the kind of guy that you're like, yeah, basketball. He looks like more of the guy.
You're a little scared. You can't look him in the eyes.
He looks like that show when they're judging the different outfits on Sci-Fi, like whether or not the guy is dressed as like a Marvel superhero or some alien, and
we could see him down here.
You could see that. You could see him floating with about to come for your neck.
Comic-Con down here, he would fit in, just being himself.
But every time he speaks, he's on par. I mean, if you, and especially, you don't have to do a lot to become really the most popular when it comes to commissioners right now in the league.
Yes.
Like Manfred is a complete dud right now, what he's doing. You have a guy in Roger who, he gets a bad rep probably overall, but he's also done that to himself. Some of the stuff that he's done, one time he was so boo-hoo about things that there was a story that there were 60 people within the NFL organization they were at their headquarters in New York, and they were sitting around the offices, and Roger was upset he couldn't make it back to the meeting in time. So he called his secretary or his minions, and he had them throw away all the pizza boxes. No joke. He was so upset with what was happening. And why was he upset? Because he was stuck in court trying to fight Tom Brady in deflated balls that nobody wanted to wake up and hear about. And he used $2.5 million of the NFL's money. Once the Supreme Court, they're all in the studio. They're all that's the only ones I'll have in here. To a point. But, the thing is, Roger Goodell, he went after the NFL for $2.5 million more than everybody else, even like the Jets fans and everybody was like, okay, you know what? Even if they did this, let's move on. Like, they still whipped the Colts. It didn't make that much of a difference. I was more worried about him and Giselle after he smashed his cell phone into the pretty much like they came to get it. And he's like, no. And like, I was like, okay, you going to be good, bro? Like, obviously, like they were just checking a few things and you just, pretty much did not want that to be seen. So it gets to the point where all the other guys around it, and Gary Bettman in the NHL has not always been liked. He's been solid, but Adam Silver, the way he has taken what at one point was looked at as a league of cheating refs, which it was called out, you're all doing it. You think Tim Donaghy was the only one doing it? Come on now. Yeah. It's like a movie Goodfellas. You know how many guys you would see that were NBA refs that were in college basketball? Remember that? I mean, there was like 15 of them popping up, and you'd see them all over, and you're like, I know that guy. Slick back hair, guys like that. And you're like, okay, because they got, quote, demoted. We're going to send you down here to the Horizon Conference on ESPN3, and you come back in a few years and see how you're doing. The NBA was in a bad state, and he came in, and he's done a consistent job. He's made things where even though it was hard to really judge whether or not you were going to be able to really – find teams for flops, or you were going to be able to do things like make sure that the star players were playing. He still implemented those on behalf of the fans when he knew that teams might not like that. Like Popovich was not going to like that. But he did it because he wanted to protect the fans. Just like sports betting, they were the first ones to pioneer, let's work with FanDuel, DraftKings, all these. They already knew millions and millions of people are doing it. Why not enhance that? So they started to build kiosks at the stadiums with different FanDuel things that you could punch tickets and cards for the game. They've embraced everything going on, and he's done one heck of a job. But even said with the protests, he goes, there's not a perfect answer what's happening if talking about the Kyrie Irving situation but he goes, we're going to play the season. We'll talk to these guys. When we're at Disney, we'll figure this all out. Right now, there's not a perfect answer to what's happening, but we're going to do our best to make sure that everybody is heard. And it was like, yeah, you're right. It's right on par. He didn't call somebody out on Twitter or do this. He every time he like I said, he's done a great job.
If you don't call somebody out, then
he used to be the guy that was just the tall, awkward-looking dude. After
that guy, but yeah.
David Stern would make the announcement, he would be the second-round guy in the NBA that we always knew that would come up and do the picks. I wonder how many Americans know that guy. That guy. The NFL has it. You know what I'm saying? Like after Roger gets done with the first round in the basement, he comes out and does the picks.
Eats his M&Ms and
somebody
else does it. Yeah.
I think he's doing a great job, and I think that you think basketball will start. I think they'll get it done.
As long as we don't listen to Kyrie Irving.
Well,
by the way, Kyrie Irving.
After you say the earth is flat, you shouldn't be listened to anyway.
Kyrie Irving, just in case people didn't know, basically was trying to tell the players
to start our own league. That was a joke.
Like, pump the brakes, young man. Like,
with what?
This is $1 billion franchises that you're dealing with. I know these guys make a lot of money.
Do you know how to deal with traffic, hiring people? Like, this is basketball. You got hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs within there. You know how to run the places that are doing the 50-50 raffles or the concessions or the people upstairs that do the T-shirt cannons. Like, you know all this? Like, or do you have different departments that people have organized over centuries of this kind of? Well, that's probably pushing it.
Well, but on Flat Earth, there may be this thing.
On Flat Earth, yeah.
Who knows?
On different,
Flat Earth.
Just push them off. Can we push them off the side?
I wish. Long time ago.
How many miles is that? Ask him. How many miles till we get to that side?
That is a good
push
question.
Them off. Mike Leach, by the way, when it comes to
does the Earth rotate like this? By the way,
I'm not
Flat
answering
Earth,
that
like,
right now.
Do we just flip upside down and
my
hang
head
on?
is rotating right now in a way, but I have to say that with Mike Leach, now they have you can call it the Leach Bowl, regardless of it, but he's 59 years old. Can he make it to 69?
Nope.
Can he make it to 69? Now somebody driving's like, what's happening right now?
But,
can he? He has to for 10 years. If he can wait 10 years, then Washington State will play Mississippi State. and have an
Sure,
opportunity.
He'll just be so ready because, the salt will still be in the wound after all that time.
Do you really want to be at Mississippi State for 10 years? And why I say that is, if you're really, Mike Leach would like to have one of those prestige, the jobs we're not saying top level right now, but Penn State, a job like that,
absolutely.
a Wisconsin down there, he'd be the reverse of Wisconsin, but any team like that would be a step up. Mississippi State is solid, but you're always looked at in recruiting right now as either 6th or 7th.
Yeah, the stepchild in the SEC.
I'm just talking about in their division.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Arkansas right now, but usually Arkansas is ahead of them. But right now, they've got one on Pittman. I don't know about Ole Miss. I'd still give Lane maybe a little just because.
I'll put Lane above him because he's Lane, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Well, and Oxford's got a little.
Yeah,
Oxford will make things happen now.
So you put the money with Lane and his
that's what I'm saying. Getting the fast lane right there.
Sleaziness, his Robert Kraftness.
So even if so he's probably 6 or 7. You don't want to be in an area where you're recruiting against Alabama, LSU, Auburn all the time, Texas A&M, and that money. You're not going to win that.
That's just your division,
And it sounds like most of the states are going down a path of getting paid for their brand and likeness.
Yikes. It's
even scarier than Starkville. How are you going to convince somebody to go down there? Got some good cowbell. Got some really good cowbell right there. You're not going to get that. Stories of castrating a bull with Jackie Sherrill. Outside of that,
welcome. Yeah, it's not.
They love
welcome.
football. They love football.
They really do.
Passionate fans. I'm not saying that, but even Starkville fans in Stark Vegas know that they're not going to be able to compete long term. So if he's striking while the iron's hot, he's not going to be there 10 years. If he's not doing a great job, he's going to probably want to retire or get out at this point.
Just from a standpoint of the way he plays the game, do you think he can survive in the SEC? I don't. I don't because he never – people saying, well, he can change the defense. No, he's never changed. He's never had a good defense. It's always been offense. And I understand. I have an idea of maybe where you're going to go with this. I don't know because offense is very important.
I'm glad you do because I'm not.
Offense wins championships when you look at the game and how it's evolved today. But at some point, you have to be able to play defense in the SEC. Maybe not somewhere else, but in the SEC to make it out of there, the Bamas and all this stuff, they've been able to score points, but they've also had a hell of a defense over there. LSU's, their defenses have been really good. Not in the beginning last year, but later on in the season, they showed out. So that's where I don't see him being there, honestly, more than 3 years and trying to hopefully find a way to get a more high-profile job. But I don't think he can survive in the SEC.
Well,
he'll upset some people. I will say that by the style that they play. Trust me, as an Oregon fan, I've been upset by Washington State plenty of times. Yeah. But I don't see him lasting. I don't see him getting more than 6 wins, 7 wins.
Nope. Like those Aunt Jemima pancake boxes I have to now throw out. We're staying on that. But
shameful.
From a PR standpoint and from making money, would everybody be okay if you just took white out to the area of the U and just put Aunt Jemima with like an I? Rebranding and marketing. It ain't Jemima. I'm just saying.
That's my go-to.
Hey, listen.
Aunt Jemima's some good stuff.
Save a lot of money. That's a lot to rebrand. That's what Daniel Snyder said with the Redskins. It's going to cost him like $29 million to rebrand the name. This company, Quaker Oats, doesn't want that.
Is it $29 million or $29 more than that?
More than that for everything.
I was going to say.
Just Aunt Jemima. Just put that there and then move on.
You just paid that to Dwayne.
I just care whatever comes out of the box in the pancake mix. That's in the syrup. That's all. Frankly, I'm not.
Oh, Aunt Jemima syrup.
At this point, there was enough. I don't know the details outside of that. Uncle Ben's rice will evolve as well. They said that today, and I'm fine. I'm all about the change as long as I like their rice though. I had a
don't change the rice.
That's what I'm saying. Let's change the package, but let me continue to make those quick 60-second meals.
Put Barney on the package for all I care.
Yeah, don't need to be cooking up. I don't have time for this. We're coming back. Oh, Brittany made the chili yesterday, by the way.
Oh, geez,
so good.
All right, we'll talk about that in just a second.
We will. Coming back for more Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV.
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl 100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Imogen and I started Jewelers Trade Shop in 1956.
Our goal at Jewelers Trade Shop has always been to give our customers the best experience imaginable. It's something that my grandfather instilled in my father, and without a doubt, my father has passed on to me. Those basic core goals and values that shaped our business 56 years ago are still very much alive and a driving force behind Jewelers Trade Shop today.
For 3 generations, the story continues. Jewelers Trade Shop in downtown Pensacola.
Hey guys, I know there's a lot going on right now in the world, and we're all shopping online. I just saw that AT&T started doing 2 really helpful things for those who want to buy a new phone or device online. They're offering fast, free, no-contact delivery and curbside pickup, so that online shopping is as simple and safe as possible. On top of that, they have a flexible return policy, so you can shop at ease. You can visit att.com to learn how to shop online from the safety of your home 24/7. Subject to change, restrictions apply.
This Thursday at 5:30, tune into the Sports Drive with me, Chad Brillante, when we tee it up with PGA and head pro at Osceola Golf Club, Adrian Stills, for his inside scoop on local golf events and some of his most entertaining stories from the world of golf. Adrian has represented Pensacola at the highest level as a player and a teacher, and is proud to make Pensacola his home. So join him this Thursday at 5:30 on the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, and get ready to tee it up with the PGA Pro.
Introducing a new podcast, ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Mina Kimes. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. The best sports story all day, 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. ESPN Daily. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Football season never ends on Talk Football with Coach K.
Stidham is tearing it up at New England. He may well be the incumbent to Tom Brady there.
Former head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Coach K brings his expertise as he breaks down the game, the players, the coaches, and the front office. Plus, high-profile interviews from the biggest names in football. Talk Football with Coach K every weekday from noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
The latest news and sports can be heard on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Get the latest news and football on Talk Football with Coach K. Daily sports talk on your drive home on The Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. And a recap and look ahead of the sports week on Sports Call with Davis and Justin every Saturday. Plus, national sports radio talk on Golic and Wingo, The Dan Lebertard Show with Stu Gotts, and The Paul Feinbaum Show. It all lives on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. We do sports, and that's all we do. We're your hometown sports station, ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity, you know the roof on fire. We gon' boogie, oogie, oogie, jiggle, wiggle, and dance like the roof on fire. We go drink drinks and take shots until we fall out like the roof on fire. Now, baby, get my booty naked, take off all your clothes and light the roof on fire.
Always come in on that one right there. Welcome back.
Perfect.
Sports Drive, yeah. The fireball.
I'm a fireball.
All I'm thinking is Mardi Gras waving at people on the float right now. Doing this. David DePez.
That's before it all happened.
After I get done with ESPN. Making that clear. That's once we get with our DePez guy. No, it's not debatable. Looking right now. By the way, we do want you guys to show us your pics. ESPN Pensacola right now, you can send in a picture with your family for Father's Day with your kids or with your dad and post it. Our link is up there on the Facebook page. I'll go actually and knock it back up to the top because it was from a couple days. And all you have to do is put a picture of your family. I'll say Ed Spears, one of our friends, and does a great job at Main Street Milton and running over there. His wife, Coach Stephanie Yelton, does an incredible job as a UWF women's basketball coach. Glad to be friends with him. And I think he's not 100% sure that we're just going to take the one pick because, I got a catalog of his family photos, but right now I think he's outweighing almost the group. So, he's like, I got a 50-50 shot of winning this watch. You win a free Tissot watch right there from Jewelers Trade Shop. Tissot watch right there, and it's a nice one. And a chance to
Good-looking Tissot
It's
watch.
It's not going to turn your wrist green or one of those like I got this and then it breaks off after a couple days. No, this is the real deal. Jewelers Trade doesn't play games. They've been there 3 generations. Corbett and the great folks over there, and you got to watch. So you have until tomorrow. We're going to make that drawing, and then also a reminder tomorrow on the show, Adrian Stills. One of the legends in this area. He was a PGA pro. He's at Osceola Golf Course. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And he's going to share a thing or two when we tee it up with Adrian each and every Thursday on the show to talk about golf, some of the stories going on with the youth, and everything really happening around the game of golf in this area. Adrian's always been somebody that I've looked up to in the business and just a class act, and we're looking forward to it coming up here tomorrow on Tee It Up. 850-623-1330 is the number. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, who's this?
This is Jeff. I can think of what you were talking about in the last break about Clarksville, Mississippi. Can watch one of the top 15 baseball teams in the country every year going forward. And a nice college baseball team that holds about 15,000 people and also has, I'm just glad they have football so then they can build that brand new baseball stadium and this and that. And they got a really great women's basketball team, second best team in the league behind South Carolina. And they did beat UConn. They didn't win the national title, but, Alabama will be horrible at baseball. They probably won't ever win. And, and stuff. And they're not really good at women's basketball. Probably won't ever be good. And I remember Scott Goodwin built it up and stuff. So I think it's a fun place. To me, I don't really care to go to a place. People want high-end alcohol, God bless them. Not going to be me. People want to gamble, God bless them. Not going to do it, waste of money and stuff. But I would go in a heartbeat, man. But then I'm a pure sports fan like I always will be and stuff. I saw the proposal for the baseball. Hopefully it happened. If it doesn't, I saw something else and stuff. And I'm hoping for the best. I've heard people say, like baseball is dead and this and that. I said I'd be a lot more worried about football being played, and I might be wrong about that. Not around here, but maybe out in California and maybe the Northeast and stuff. Commissioner Silver, he done a really great job. I'm not really impressed, but then I like baseball and probably hockey more than basketball and football. I know those are probably the more popular sports, especially around here with college football and stuff. And just want to say go Knights. And go Ducks. Thank you, Chad. Have a good day.
Anytime you end it like that, you didn't have to add the next time when he ends with the Go Knights, now that we know it's going to be followed by Go Ducks, can you just cut it?
Nope.
I don't want to cut Jeff's call, but can we just end it there? And
Although I love Jeff to death, but he forgot my Oregon Ducks this year in the women's basketball.
Yeah, there it is.
It's the one year that we were actually really good.
Yeah.
You know what?
And like George Seinfeld's, or George Costanza's dad, it stopped short. It was done at that point. Look, here's the thing with Major League Baseball, though. At this point, it's not just about the season. If they don't get this proposal done, everybody's just a liar. Everybody out there is just a complete fool liar telling us things that we want to hear and then not. All we're seeing on baseball today are posts all over Twitter from Bryce Harper, from Mike Trout, from all these people.
Pete Alonso,
Pete Alonso, everyone. Big polar bear right there. Go Gators.
Big Texas toast.
He's nasty. He is.
He's a monster.
He wins the intimidation. Like every time he's at the plate, he looks like he's going to crush the ball. Like the ball's going into deep.
But he's a super nice guy too.
Yeah, he
is. Completely
he's an
different.
awesome guy. Hey, he's going to be around for a while. I hope his career stays the way it should, because last Florida Gator that was like that was Mike Zunino, and Zunino started batting 190, and he could still hit the ball like 400. Once in a while he'd hit one of those out there in Seattle at Safeco that would go almost 500, and then he would strike out 4 straight times on big whiffs. You need
big whiffs
consistently. If Alonso can be a 270 hitter, which is okay for a big bruiser like that, if you can be a 260, 270, but you have 55 home runs and 110 RBIs, he's going to be fine. And that's probably going to be his career. I don't see him being a 300 kind of guy, but he doesn't have to for the type of stats he's putting up.
Well, and the way the game's played.
He's like the new age McGuire without all the other hype behind it. He really is, the way he plays. Without all the baggage that goes with it.
I'm about to say a lot of differences.
Without that baggage. But to the point where I was saying is, so you got all the players right now that are saying, tell us when and where. Then you had Rob Manfred, who said, we're playing 100%. Well, so the players, they decide Tony Clark, on behalf of them for Players Association, says this is our demand. Rob Manfred and them come back and say, no, we're not doing that. So, all right, so it's not 100 now. But then today they're all saying, look, tell us when and where. And actually the owners put together something, 60 games, 70 days, start July 19th, full prorated salary, expanded playoffs, and we could play ball. So where's the holdup?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If it was, because this isn't a bad deal. If it was something like one of those Inspector Gadget, the claw on the back, like laughing, being like, 3 games, $12. So you'll be, okay, you know what? Get him out of here, man. Like, I don't have time for this. It's going to cost me more in gas to come to the ballpark. Stop. They're not doing that. They're giving them an offer that's pretty solid here. It's better than the offers they were doing before. They're negotiating, but they're trying to compromise here. So if they can't get this done, and for some people to say, well, those are just a few people, they're the big boppers. It's Mike Trout. It's Bryce Harper. They have a voice. They can get up there right now and say, you know what, guys, we need to play. And those guys mean more. Those are not the kind of guys that usually do step up in the spotlight. We use our Bryce list when it comes there, and Mike Trout's usually out fishing, which is fine. Which is funny because he loves to catch bass. He doesn't actually. Fine piece of bass he got last week. But I just have to say, though, if you look at what they're doing, they need to get it done. We need to get it done at this point.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, we can talk about it all day, every day.
We have.
We have.
2 months, yeah.
But the fact that it took them until yesterday to meet with each other in the same room is shameful. I mean, once again, you're grown men. We talk about it all the time, meeting face-to-face and not sitting there talking on a telephone back and forth. How hard is that with these guys? Especially when you're serious about bringing baseball back. Like, quit playing. That really, to me, from the players and the owners, I'm sorry, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because it took you a month and a half now to meet in the same room to talk about this? Like, I don't care what's going on with the owners. I don't care what's going on with the players. That's both of you guys.
It's Nick Saban copyright infringement, by the way.
My bad.
You say that. You can't just say, it pisses me off.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Do I have to slam? But I didn't slam my fist or anything.
No, you didn't. Oh, I was about to say, get in the same room and make it happen. Every time we text or call, every time. It does not matter. Any time I say, when do you want to meet? Whatever parking lot, Zaxby's down the road, I'll be there. Meet me in 20 minutes. And you're like, I just disagreed with your pick. Be like, every time, meet face to face, every single time.
And then you don't ever show up. And then I just have to buy Zaxby's.
That's how I win.
And then
That's
there
how
I go.
I
spend money.
Come in for the swoop right there. But that's what we do in Boston. But deflect. Looking at some of the NFL odds here, going with this week 1 of the regular season, who has the best odds to be comeback player? Will it be Big Ben, J.J. Watt, or another guy that is really at this point everybody expects to come back and be the same guy, but he hasn't been the same guy? And that would be Rob Gronkowski, meaning that he's going to be good, but he's not going to have 7 catches, 130 yards in that offense. Godwin and Evans are still going to be their main guys. And then remember, I mean, as of right now, you still have O.J. Howard. You still have guys out of the backfield that they're going to use.
Good O.J.
Vaughn is going to be – I think he's underrated. He's a pretty solid player. He was the one part of watching Vanderbilt games, and you're like, this guy's pretty good.
Keyshawn Vaughn? Yeah.
He's solid.
He is a James White-style back, but he's got to come into his own. You know, I'm not saying he's James White yet, obviously, but that style, that versatility that he has, the burst that he has, can do everything there. It's unfortunate that he played at Vanderbilt because that's how you know. That's why people go, well, wait a minute, I don't even know who this guy is. That's why.
Well, I like James White a lot, and you can't take anything away from what he did in the past, but we'll see how good James White is getting screen passes from Jarrett Stidham, too, because, I mean, I was like, remember, he was cut from a couple teams, as many people were before. Deion Lewis, think about him in Tennessee.
We
loved Deion Lewis when he was in New England.
We didn't even use him.
So
we didn't even know what to do with him.
James White will always be there. Yeah. He was part of the comeback, getting the ball across. Everybody's favorite game, 28-3.
I still think, by the way, Matt Stafford is a guy, comeback player of the year. That's my
That's
bold.
a good one right there. I got to go. I mean, if Big Ben plays, he should win it, just because he's going to put up freakish stats.
Healthy. That's my thing is the health of Big Ben. Like, I don't know. Whatever, you know. I think Matt Stafford will be really good.
He shaved that beard. He lost 40 pounds.
That's true. More aerodynamic. But
yeah.
Regardless, that's my thing. Matt Stafford. I like Matt Stafford a lot.
He's not getting house calls thinking he's a Unabomber in the house.
That's true. But I think the Lions are going to be awful, but he'll have a good year.
Title odds in college football. Clemson going out at the best odds 2-1. Ohio State 3-1. Alabama 3-1. Georgia 9-1, LSU 9-1, and Florida at 14-1. So pretty much you have.
Wow.
You see, the SEC though doesn't have one or two on this. Well, tied for number 2, but after that, 4 straight right there. What did you say? Respect for Florida?
No, disrespect.
Yeah, I mean
they're putting them behind LSU. And remember this though,
they're number 6 on the list. That's where they should be.
But you're putting them behind LSU, who LSU has to go through Bama, where all Florida has to do is go through Georgia. That's their stepping stone right there. Yeah. And when you look at the gauntlet in the West, like for LSU to lose 16 people, and you're still putting them ahead, that's a lot of faith. I mean, I'm just saying we know what we got with Florida pretty much. With LSU, I know receivers top notch, but the quarterback like Miles Brennan, I'm hearing all this stuff about, yeah, you better hang on. This guy's going to be the real deal. But once again, I would believe it about Jamie Newman before I believe it about Miles Brennan.
And then the odds going out as well. Bob Kraft, over under 2.5 trips to Miami before the season starts.
He's already done that. So are you talking about when the season starts, or because he's already done that? He did that
on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, on Wednesday.
Today.
I'll push.
He has by the end of the night. Has he been there twice in his jet?
And he's on his way, so that's the half.
There you go.
Yeah.
UWF Spring Sports, 12 student athletes voted on the all-academic team right there. That's awesome right there. That should get more recognition.
Absolutely.
In a time where a lot of that does not. We should give that. Not going to act like I went and interviewed every one of these. Brian Henry sent me this list. But Matthew Estrada, Daniel Floyd from baseball, Grace Gilbert and Kelsey Sweat from softball, Harry Butler and Adam Guerda from men's golf, as Keely Khan and Ranja Tapali for women's golf, as well Berta Bernardi and going easy on the names on me. Gabriela Arujo for the women's tennis team, Juan Cabrera and Juan Mota from men's tennis, and there it is.
That deserves an applause for you, my friend. Congratulations. That was a tough list.
So, the all-academic team, we'll go ahead and take a break. When we come back, look at that. I'm learning. This is a big change. And coming back from more Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Live TV.
Jackson Pace Pharmacy has exciting news for ED patients. Viagra 100 milligram generic is finally here. Get it today. 30 tablets for $80, less than $3 a pill. You heard right. Viagra 100 milligram generic is less than $3 a tablet. A prescription from your doctor is required, so stop by Jackson Pace Pharmacy and cash in on the savings today. 2256 West 9 Mile Road in Pensacola.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying.
It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one.
You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just cover shipping and handling, and a free bottle will be conveniently shipped to your door. No strings attached and no commitments to buy. Call 1-800-491-4613. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no strings attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-491-4613. Agents are standing by to take your call for this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-491-4613. 1-800-491-4613.
Walking outside your house just to get cool shouldn't be your choice to avoid the cost of AC repairs. Getting your AC repaired right the first time at a price that is so much lower than the others is the reason why you should call the locally owned Top Tier Air Conditioning and Heating. There is no service call fee with any AC repair, plus no extra charge for weekends or after hours calls. So don't sweat it. Call Top Tier. It's your home's most expensive appliance. Call the certified experts at Top Tier Air Conditioning and Heating. 208-2544.
An auto policy from State Farm gets you collision coverage. And this radio ad from State Farm gets you coverage of this beloved 90s hit.
I hit a car. I hit a car. I hit a car. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. My agent's gonna help me.
For more coverage, visit statefarm.com.
Father's Day is right around the corner, and from the first ballpark fraying together to that game-winning touchdown where you looked at him and said,
I love you, man.
We want you to show us your pics. I know that didn't sound right, but really, over the next few weeks, send in that pic with your dad by messaging ESPN Pensacola 1330 on Facebook. Then on Thursday, June 18th at 5 on the Sports Drive, we'll select a random winner for a new Tissot watch from Jewelers Trade Shop. Send in a pic with Pops, and you can win a watch. That's simple. And this year, our sports memories with the family just seem a little bit bigger than ever.
You can watch Chad on the Sports Drive live right now on our YouTube channel at ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Right now, it's a force field. I wear my heart up on my sleeve like a big deal. Your love pours down on me, surround me like a waterfall.
Welcome back, Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, home of the UWF Argos national champion football team. Coach Pete Shinnick joined us yesterday on the show. Talk about the number 1 overall ranking. Austin Reed coming back made clear to me that he's got 3 years, that he will not be going to the Pats anytime soon.
He was adamant about that.
Well, listen, we had fun with him.
No, you were actually being serious without being serious at the same time.
That's
just
true.
kind of
That's true.
gauging.
Oh, he was making clear of that. Yeah.
Bill had called you.
He knows how we act. Yeah.
Yeah, Belichick had called you and said, I need you to get a read on this Austin Reed guy. So there you go. You had to,
well, that's our code. We need you to
home.
get a read on what's going on. Be
there
like,
you go.
I got you.
Uh-huh.
The A read right there. Yeah, no, it's going to be awesome, though, because it sounded optimistic. We start off right out of the gate with the one team that disappointed a lot of hearts of Argo fans. But people left that game. You can win in a loss in sports, and everybody was just so happy that UWF was there.
Yep.
And having an opportunity to play in a national title game in your second season, reeling off 5 straight wins. By the way, Vegas doesn't come out with all the lines until the semifinals, but according to the numbers, they were an average of a 12-point underdog against the teams they all flat out whooped. Wingate they beat by like 30. They're 8-0 all time on the road in the playoffs. They've never hosted a playoff game. They're 8-0 all time on the road in the playoffs and 1-1 in national title neutral site games. That's insane. And they're not only winning games, they're whooping them up. Like, they're beating teams by a ton. Remember the team, Minnesota State, good old coach out there, watching that. They were a 12-point underdog in the national title game. They were up 28-0 at one point.
You could bet on it. I mean, we wanted to put money on that.
It was mind-blowing. How crazy to think about it, that they were equivalent to what you would get if, like, you had a neutral site game. You know what they were equivalent to? LSU, Oklahoma. And nobody for a second thought Jalen Hurts and them were like, uh-oh. Even the Boomer Sooner fan, I hope you didn't. Like, we got this one. We're going to take care of them. After watching them dismantle Georgia, beat Alabama at Alabama with that defense. The best offense in the history of college football, because you can argue whatever team. We can sit here and argue Miami, 2001 Canes. Oregon. You can no, stop. 95 Nebraska. Yes, the UCF Knights of Peach Bowl champs. But all of these teams, that was a joke. But you can argue the Gators, the Tebow era, Jameis Winston, Florida State, talking about Cam and Auburn. Everybody's got their piece. USC, the Leinart and the Carson Palmer and Reggie Bush era. Everybody's got what they want to argue. The one thing we really can't argue, LSU had the best offense all time last year. And it wasn't even close with the numbers. What they did to beat 7 top 10 teams and a quarterback that threw for 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns, didn't just win, shattered all the SEC records. What they did last year was phenomenal. And they didn't do it against bozos. They did it against teams that were ranked in the top 10. 7 top 10 teams they beat when they play them. And a lot of those were on the road at Texas. Not an easy place to play, even though their season didn't go as planned. Incredible feat. But we also need to understand, though, that what UWF did was pretty much was LSU versus Oklahoma in the spread last year. And they went out there, and it had been one thing if Oklahoma was winning at half. There had been a lot of smirks. Instead, it was, 28-3. The same part, on the other hand, when you look at UWF, they were up by 4 touchdowns at one point as a 12-point underdog. That's how just pretty much everybody said, you know what, it's about time they're going to lose.
Doing the same thing, though.
Yeah, Ferris State message boards were making jokes. Like
they made videos. They made videos about the Argos coming up and playing in the snow with their shirts off and everything, like you can't handle it down there in the sweet sunshine. Yeah, well,
everybody's sort of sitting quietly today.
What I'll say is when you go back, and not only did they win on the road the way that they have, like you're talking about 8-0 on the road in the playoffs, but number 16 Wingate, you blew them out. Number 1 Valdosta State, we're being down there at Seville Quarter, watching that game, that comeback, that goal line, just last second type.
Well, you were a hero in that one because everybody else's phone went out, and it was pinwheeling.
Everybody was looking at me.
It was off the website. It was so we were watching it off the website at Pinwheel, and then all of a sudden it popped back up, and you're like, we scored. You know, it was Anthony Johnson Jr. paced his own right here at the goal line, and we were like, yeah, everybody went crazy. Valdosta State, that was awesome.
But number 6 Lenore Rhine, number 2 Ferris State, and then of course number 4 Minnesota State, like. That's the beauty of it all. It's not like they beat a couple teams that snuck in that had okay records that just peaked at the right time. These were top 10 teams, just dominating all the way through on the road, all the travel. And it's not like these guys, like if you're LSU, you go up to play to Tuscaloosa to play on Alabama. Like, these are guys they're traveling North Carolina, up north, up there in Illinois and Pennsylvania, whatever you want to call it. Then you're talking about with Ferris State, like all the travel coming back home and then going back up there. And the travel's not like these prestigious teams. Now, they did fly, things like that. They got a lot of people that supported them, obviously. But just think about that for a minute. That is so crazy.
And the Valdosta State game was the only one that was really a nail-biter.
Yeah.
All the others were just completely dismantling their opponent. It was. I mean, we're never. I know it's here, and a lot of people are sitting there go like, that aren't from here that are probably like, all right, when is the Alabama talk or LSU like? Because it's Division I. We understand you're never going to compete. That's one thing people need to understand is every UWF fan of football, if you're a football fan, you're either a fan of another team, Florida, Florida State, Alabama, Auburn, Troy, South Alabama, wherever, because you had to pick that. Before 4 years ago, you had to be that. If you're in your 40s, you had 36 years of your life with no UWF football. So, more than likely, you're a fan of another team. But we also now, hopefully, are all fans of UWF in this area after what they've done.
In all sports.
Some guy, like a Lenore Rhine fan in town, he's like, I'm not, sir. I'm not.
There is one.
You know what?
There is one, by the way. I told you about that, didn't I?
Yeah, he's a Patriot now. He's a Patriot. He's our starting safety now. It's our first pick. It is. I can't believe that. I can't believe we picked a D2 guy with our first pick. That's a good time to
Kyle
go to
Duggar,
break.
baby.
I know who he was.
The
I don't want
Duggar
to say his
Report.
name. The Duggar Report, yeah.
The Duggar Report.
I'll report. I'll go ahead and report we don't have Brady right now. Having to see him not photoshopped into uniform, but actually in a uniform.
How'd that feel?
Did not feel good.
I got you. What about Gronk with him? Does that make you feel any better?
It's just icing. That's just, it's...
Edelman's going to be on his way soon. James White's going to join him.
I mean, honestly, that's
it's
like...
be a reunion.
If you came home and somebody's like, your house caught fire, and you're like, crap. And then you're like, oh, they didn't get the shed. And then you're like, you look over at them, and then like, no, they did get the shed. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I didn't care that much about the shed anyway. Like, you're already...
Can I just have something?
If Gronk would have gone, though, remember, he wasn't on the team last year. If Gronk would have gone there without Brady, it wouldn't have been much of a story to me. I would have been fine.
No.
He wasn't with the Pats anyway.
Nobody would really
Yeah,
care.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Okay, cool.
He wants to wear neon, beaches, hang out with Hulkster.
Yeah,
he can do his thing.
He's not going to be focusing on football.
Peter
if he's
Warwick's
down
got
there.
Applebee's down the road. They're all good. He does.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does. St.
Okay.
Peter. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Applebee's, huh?
He gets your order quick, like back in the day. Him and Lavernius Coles works there now. Lavernius is like, man, I'm chilling. I don't need to do this. Come on, man. Come on. Like old days. Man, that combo, whew, Coles and Peter Warwick doesn't get much better than that. Tamrick Vanover. Let's go ahead and take a break. Alfonso Thorpe. Let's just keep naming people that were really fast at Florida State.
Chris Winkie.
This is fun, yeah.
No, I'm just
not Pooh
kidding.
Bear Williams. Not Pooh Bear.
No, not Pooh Bear.
Sports Drive coming back for more.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying.
It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one.
You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just cover shipping and handling, and a free bottle will be conveniently shipped to your door. No strings attached and no commitments to buy.
Call 1-800-491-4613.
Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now.
Call 1-800-491-4613. Agents are standing by to take your call for this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-491-4613. 1-800-491-4613.
An auto policy from State Farm gets you collision coverage. And this radio ad from State Farm gets you coverage of this beloved 90s hit.
I hit a car. I hit a car. I hit a car. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. My agent's gonna help me.
For more coverage, visit statefarm.com.
Welcome to Bo! Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. You know, snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
Digital marketing. Words you hear a lot in today's world, but what exactly does it mean? Where do you even get started? Our team at Cat Country 98.7, News Radio 92.3, ESPN Pensacola, and Pensacola's Playlist 94.5's in-house digital marketing team is here to help you navigate the changing and fast-growing landscape of digital advertising. Join us for a free online webinar on June 23rd and learn how to leverage Amazon's massive user data to put your business's message in front of your ideal customer. Head to our Facebook page to get registered today.
Sylvan success story number 4,092.
In 5th grade, we started noticing some problems, and it really changed our world. Sylvan gives parents like me hope. She's done a complete 180, and she's getting all A's and B's on her own. There's no more fighting about homework. I know that it's going to get turned in, and I know that she's going to rock it.
Start your own Sylvan success story. Call 1-800-EDUCATE or visit sylvanlearning.com.
The greatest name in sports radio is ESPN. Wherever you have Alexa, you can hear ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Just say,
Alexa, enable ESPN Pensacola 1330 skill.
From quarterbacking the Pensacola High Tigers to being head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Coach K. Stevenson knows the game, and he brings his expertise to talk football with Coach K. Weekday afternoons from noon to 1 on ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
All right, we're going to take it off the one shot here soon. Let's go back to the two shot here. Welcome back. Oh, that's burning. That's definitely like the...
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's definitely the menthol eucalyptus something's in there.
Would you drink that coffee, please?
Yeah.
You need it so bad.
That was bad right there. So I'm not feeling that great today. But you say that in these days, and people are like,
people freak out, yeah.
Start running. So I came to work. I'm going through it. Trying to get the juices.
We got the plexiglass. We're good.
Got some of this throat spray that my mom made. It was a concoction of, some good stuff. That peppermint oils and the other stuff. So, but that completely just missed my mouth right into my left eye. So this is not good. This is like the icy hot story right before the game, where you don't get the icy hot on your back. You know what I'm saying?
You want some?
Is this just turned into like a
peppermint
Mary Kay like kind of thing? We're just now like.
Let me show you what I have for you,
Chad. Someone just became
Chad.
QVC out here. Like, look at this. Let's get this here. The one shot here.
Oh, give me peppermint.
Look at that.
There you go. Okay.
You're getting away from my eye is burning really badly right now by decoying this. Wow, look at that. I just saw this pop up. Osasuna right there. Just sounds like something when you lose bad. It doesn't. Osasuna. 5-0 they lost at home today in front of no fans. But it was in Spanish La Liga. Right
No
there.
defense.
Atletico Madrid.
Defense wins
Getting it done
championships
right
in soccer.
5-0 in soccer. This wasn't even like the worst team either. They were 11th in the league out of 20. And Madrid is Atletico Madrid, not Real. But number 4. Just a complete roast right there. 5-0 in a soccer game at home. They need their fans back. They would have only lost 3-0 if it was fans were there. Did you see, by the way, the fans for one of the games? I want to say it was. It was in Italy, but they have the different color fans. All this stuff going on, like they pretty much paint in, like they have the green screen, like animated fans on TV. That stuff, that's whack out there. That's some like Bill Walton, Grateful Dead stuff going on out there. I like the noise, but let's not fool us into like airbrushing fans and thinking they're fans.
Do you like the teddy bears, like a KBO?
Yeah, I do like that.
Putting the teddy bears
But
in there?
that also like reminds me of fun childhood. This just reminds somebody of a terrible time in college where you fought a purple dragon in some kind of like a bush that wasn't actually
Telling
a
me that
bush.
purple dragon
You're in
wasn't
the middle
real?
of class. No. You were
I
actually
swear I
you were
saw
actually
one.
at a wedding in the middle of and you did this in public in front of
Wasn't
people.
even the
but-
wedding you were invited to
No,
either.
you weren't
You
even
didn't
supposed
even
to
know
be
them.
there. Yeah, you were in the wrong country at that point. But no, this over the top.
See, New Zealand has like all their fans.
They don't.
Soccer
Have you ever
games.
met a Kiwi before?
Yes.
They don't. People from there.
They're great.
Steve Elkington is like the best interview ever. If you've ever heard Elks, but he gets out there and there's no PC from him. And not to say that's always the best, but you always are going to get the real thing. People over there are not afraid of anything.
They're not.
They wouldn't even like report it. They'd be like, all right, Corona got somebody. We still got the backup. Is he still got the other guy out here? Like,
Bring
get
him
him,
out
just
here.
drag him out there.
Go.
They're not playing games, but they are. Golden Tate today. He said,
I forgot
let's
about
get to
Golden Tate.
that's pretty tweet right there. Let's get to that segment right. Some of the tweets that we've seen coming in today.
That's cute.
Someone's like, I've not seen any of these tweets. I'm working. Golden Tate at Showtime Tate. Show me the Tate. Looking at this. Golden Tate. I realized what I said. Pro Bowl will be in Vegas. We know that. And they better literally, he said, get the players to land and get them right on the field. Because think about that. What game is more meaningless than the Pro Bowl?
Better lock them in the stadium.
This year's Pro Bowl really did not exist, and for a terrible reason. It was in the middle of the Kobe tragedy. We were finding out in the middle. So at that point, even the people in the Pro Bowl were getting interviewed. Like, I know you just marched down the field and scored, although there was no tackling. There's no tackling in it. It's two-hand touch.
Yeah.
So, like, a Biggins would intercept it, and you just weren't patting this 350-pound guy. Like, you're probably not going to tackle him anyway, but they can't even get him down. It's all like when you what's even the point of running back? Shit, Derrick Henry, you hand him the ball off, and he goes there. It's like a simulated practice, and then they're like, he was about to get hit.
It's like a 7-on-7.
Zero. It is a joke. I mean, for the sport, and I'm saying football is my favorite sport to watch. The NFL, I'm an NFL guy, even though I know college football is king. We win fake national titles. Go Knights. But Patriots have won 6, whether everybody hates us or not.
That's why it's your favorite. I get it.
No, it always has been.
If
Football Sundays is always
UCF
been.
was Alabama, then you would be like, yeah, college football's king.
It's always been my favorite because every Sunday watching the games with my dad or fantasy football or everything we've done watching the games, Sunday was always a day where I'd take off to spend the whole day watching football.
Man, see, you just hit me with the family stuff.
See,
Now-
college, I never
now I feel
really
like a jerk.
Before UCF, I really never had a team in college because I wasn't from here. So I didn't have a
You are,
team.
look, you already
that
made me feel bad enough. That's fine. You win.
my best friend had
You win.
that was Golden Cane, so I became Go U. I had a lot of U games right there.
Watch
The
those
U
hands.
right there. Nevin Shapiro.
Good time for a break.
Kiwis, those Kiwis.
This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, sports call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEVY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on the Sports Drive, I'll manage not to spray peppermint oil into my eye. I will get to more on Think Before You Tweet, on some of the crazy things happening right now in the world of sports. And also, Mike Leach, Mississippi State and Washington State. Woohoo! The Leach Bowl. Yep, it's 2030.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Across the middle, and it's caught for the first. It's Baldwin, shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day. Doug Baldwin.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to
the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Both been beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 the Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome back. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Adam Schefter was one of my favorite guys to follow. But he's, I don't know.
He's been salty.
He's been very salty.
Extremely salty his entire
Well, I mean,
offseason.
like, this is his tweet right here. He tweeted himself, actually. He retweeted himself here. But
that's always good.
It said, Broncos standout Kareem Jackson tested positive for COVID-19. It said, but then it said, although nearly 40 Broncos were in the recent Denver protests, none of his teammates have tested positive. Team's normal testing procedures will remain in place. But like, what are you trying to say here? Like,
Everybody's supposed to test
so like
'cause
that
you're
the
out
protest. But I mean, is the agenda pushing that 40 people were out there and the protests happened and none of them tested positive? Like, that's coincidence. I mean, whoever, let's call it the god of COVID up there in the clouds, is not judging what you do, whether you go through a drive-through, whether you're at a Little League game, whether you're in a protest, you're in a pool. If you get it, you get it. From, like we said, if you hang out with a bunch of people, the reason in New York and other places, have you ever been to New York? If you haven't, you're congested in subways. Everywhere you go, you're within a foot from people. And it's freezing cold, where your body can't fight things off. So let's be real with what's happening here. It spreads like wildfire there. You think it's coincidence South Dakota never shut down? Where they're already social distancing? It's like one of those places out in Blackwater where you don't get cell phone reception anymore. I guess everybody didn't have cell phone reception except for like me, and I got lucky there. Apparently everybody was out last couple of days. But people need to understand, none of this is based on, let's not push any type of, you can get it or not. Regardless how people feel now, you can get it or not, but let's get back to sports. No more of that. Looking what's happening right now with Phil Ozersky. Do we know that? No, we don't. But Phil Ozersky was the average Joe that made $30,000 per year. Somebody's like, really? Take that. Caught McGuire's 70th home run ball. Well, he asked the Cardinals after catching that 70th ball. He wanted a signed bat. He wanted a ball and a jersey. That's it. Pretty good bargain right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he also wanted to meet Mark McGuire. Oh, Mark should be like, yeah, I'd love to meet him. Get my ball back. Make sure I see it. That's my 70th home run.
Beat that guy up.
No, it's a Big Mac right there. I'd
pick
him up and swing him like a Louisville Slugger out there. Guy's like, what are you doing, man? That's my kid. That's all he wanted. McGuire says no to ice. This isn't some guy. This is the guy that caught your 70th home run. You would think you'd want to at least get the ball at least or something. McGuire didn't want to meet him. Big moment, didn't want to meet him. So the guy goes home. He says, I back out. We're done here. We're done. I want to make this like it's a Joe Pesci and De Niro, we're done. We're walking out the room right here. Some music, some guy playing a violin. So he leaves. Well, 3 months later, he gets a call. $3.1 million the ball sells for. So those bats and balls and other things like that, yeah.
Yikes.
You know what'd be funny is if he made that 3 months, but it would have been funnier if, McGuire next season was going for a big record at home, and the guy he used, just to get spite, he used $500,000 and bought the allotment of like 40,000 seats and didn't have anybody show up. So McGuire was going for the record, and he's like, where is everybody? Well, this guy on here, he paid for him. We can't do anything about this. Phil Ozerski, do you know that name? No, that's a guy. Remember me? He has a sign. He has a new sign every time out there. Where's all the fans coming out? This is record. I'm going to go for it today. No, you're not. Phil's out there like, loser, and he just boos them the whole game. That's why if I had that kind of money, I'd be scary. I'd buy every billboard and everything in town like that. That'd be a.
You still wouldn't have as many as Alexander Schnarr, though.
No, I would not. That guy, yeah, he's on top of buildings in Mobile on him now.
Everywhere.
I got
all
you
up and down
covered,
I-65. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah, we did it. It's a fun game to play actually. On the way to Atlanta, there were 78 billboards. Me and Chase actually, my co-host, when we were over, producer, and Chase was a nice kid. He was a nice kid. He
you just downplayed Chase.
No, I like Chase was a nice kid. He also was very
nice kid. He was all right.
Nice kid. He also, but I'm saying he also really believed in like. Let's just put it this way: the day Obama was elected, he wore a bulletproof vest, kind of thing. Like we're you know.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
You.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
really, I mean, look, and a lot of people listening are like, yeah, so did I. I mean, look, I know where I live, but Chase was an awesome kid. So we went to the game together, and it was Atlanta Braves affiliate night. We counted 78. We played that game all the way there. 78.
Surely one of you was drinking. Whoever wasn't driving.
None of this has 78. That's all we're saying. Don Sutton. We hung out with Don Sutton there. Good day. Braves actually won the game. They had like some Manny Buñuelos pitching or Banwell. Yeah, I can't even try this. I just went down like 15 names. I can't even get his name. Looking at the situation right now in college football, do you think we're anywhere closer, or where do you see the timeline of the announcements being made of when we can expect to see some fans back in the seats? Or is that going to be more – I don't think the NCAA on that. That's more of an in-house kind of thing.
It's a state
like
thing.
That's
starting with the state, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the NCAA has deflected all that to the states already and each individual team. I think we'll actually start out with a few fans, and it'll be almost like a test every week. Like, okay, we got this many fans. Can we do this many fans? How was this? They're almost testing as they go along to, depending on, look, I know Fauci came out and said yesterday, I believe, that, look, baseball needs to finish before October in case that second round of, or the wave of coronavirus comes back when it gets cold. To each their own on that. I'm not going to say anything to that. But what I will say is I do think we will have fans when we start the season. Not very many. Like maybe it's 5,000, maybe it's 10,000. Spread them in a stadium, depending on the size of the stadium, and see where it goes. Now, some areas we may see 30,000 fans. Who knows? Heck, we still have so much time when it's all said and done. I'm not going to say we're going to have packed stadiums just because it's going to be.
Some people listening in like the MAC football on Wednesday is like, okay,
so
you're trying to tell us something here?
Wait a minute, we don't have 5,000.
Bill Hancock's the only one going to those games, apparently. He just shows
up. It's his family that shows up. No, I don't know. I think we will start out with some, but I don't think it'll be very many. And like I said, in some areas, maybe we'll see half-filled stadiums to start off with. But I find it hard to believe we're going to have full stadiums, especially starting out, until we kind of find more out about this.
Looking right now, if you haven't heard, we talked about it earlier, but Major League Baseball, the owners have come back with 60 games in 70 days, a proposal. It's on the table. There's a lot of sheets of paper, a lot of wasted trees on that table.
Not that table, though, right?
No, that table. I'm not staying away. My eyes still burn. Season starting July 19th. Full prorated salary, which is better than what they were saying before.
80%?
Yeah. Expanded playoffs in 2020 and 2021. And waiving any potential grievance, which is good, too. So at this point, well, that's not good for the players. But I was like, good for the owners. I just thought, I'm like, yeah, that's not what they want, actually. But they want, at this point, they need to, the players have said over and over and over, you bring something to us, we're going to play ball. We're ready to go. I mean, it's all over right now, social media, with Mike Trout and Bryce Harper and Pete Alonso and all these guys. Tell us when and where. Hashtag tell us when and where we're there. Okay, well, they just gave you a pretty good offer right here. It's better than the last offer they made. And if you say no, it's the guy, I love you more than anything, honey. While you're saying that, one of those like chicken fried homicide shows where there's two girls in your bed. Like, you're my girl. You've always been my girl, Samantha. And you're like, okay, this guy's about to get crushed here. Like, all of a sudden, like, she didn't even have to go to the kitchen. Like, you know those shows.
What was that noise?
Southern Fried Homicide. You ever seen that show, by the way?
No, I haven't, but that noise.
Pretty good show right there.
Tough noise.
It's always fun. They get right to it. They get like the apex of a movie. You get it in like the first 2 seconds. Like the first scene is like, he didn't know she wasn't going to be gone for the weekend. Like the first thing, and then the rest of it sort of just interviews.
You know the one thing I will say?
We're staying on this.
I'm not staying on chicken fried
okay.
homicide. I'm not doing
All right.
that. Not doing that. Not yet. I got to look it up first. But anyway, originally this was all about making enough money to make it worth your while because of the coronavirus.
Oh, they do pretty well on the show.
We have.
Oh, we're off. Oh, we're off chicken fried. Okay.
We have not heard this from the players. We haven't heard the coronavirus stuff from the players at all. Now it's just about getting paid.
No.
Like,
but nobody at
funny
this
how
point.
the tides have turned.
But
on this.
nobody from day one wanted to hear millionaires argue with billionaires. Like not one person during.
Nobody
this
wanted
time.
to hear from Blake Snell either, but we had to.
Especially when most people would think out of NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball, really you don't have to think that much. The easiest sport to get rolling is Major League Baseball. You're already social distancing. You're already spread out. If you want to put the players in the stadium, like sitting around in those seats that are empty without the fans, they don't have to be within the same area in the dugout. Like, it's an easy sport to be able to manage. Hockey? What are they going to say? Keep 6 feet? I'm not going to the game if they can't check.
Well, technically, hockey's actually pretty good, though, because think about it. They wear
Until you lose your teeth and the blood's going
They wear that jersey. All you got to do is most of the guys wear like a visor anyway. So, look, they're already following protocols. They're wearing their mask. There you go.
Yeah, they're going to be worried
Just
about
no fighting.
Those guys. I was going to say
no fighting.
Yeah, you can
fight from 6 feet apart.
Andrew Chuck's going to really worry about COVID when he's out there busting pop, pop, pop. Old Eric Lindros in there, and this is one of these kind of things where baseball out of the three makes more sense. Basketball, you're getting all sweaty in the lane. Look, James Harden flops. He has to make contact sort of every single time.
No, he does not. No, he does not. He flops without contact.
You think if James Harden was never alive on this planet, that call would not be a travel every single time that he does?
That's for sure. That is a fact.
I love the guy for Providence, the Friars, who was on a roll before they shut down literally at halftime their season. They were on the biggest roll. They were going to get into the tournament. They'd won like 5 Friars, baby. But I remember the guy he thought he was balling, and he did the 2-step back, Harden, and he stroked the 3. And this old school ref, he had to be up there. He's like Dick Bavetta, one of those guys. And he came out of the woodworks. It wasn't even his call. Anybody that's been in any type of school for any umpiring or refereeing, you know that you sort of stay in your ground. If you're out on the outside by half court, you don't call a blocking foul inside the lane when the guy's underneath the hoop, even if he misses it, unless you're a guy like Bavetta or, Joey Crawford was the worst. But so he makes this call, and he comes running out. I mean, he wasn't having it. He, cleared the lane and just was like, travel like this. Guy made the shot. Looked great doing it. But it was the same exact thing that James Harden does every play. But back to that. If there's contact made, half the game today is getting to the free throw line, so there's going to be contact made. I just don't think that baseball is the one sport that could have happened. And it was supposed to happen back in it's upsetting.
Yep.
They need to get this done. Pro Bowl in Vegas. That's big news. Looking at according to reports, people around here, this is important for them. Paul Feinbaum and Marcus Spears look like they're leaving SEC Nation. Okay.
For what? Before I clap.
No, I mean they're getting. They're not.
Oh, they moved, but Feinbaum's taking up First Take. He's on First Take every day. And Marcus Spears is too. Are they staying there?
I think so.
Oh, well, then I'm not going to.
I mean, I don't know. That was not on my notes here. It was which was led. I just have that they're at this point.
You read the headline.
While they're staying with ESPN. No. But this is the point of it. I don't know where they're going in their endeavors, but what the point is they're leaving SEC Nation. This is about SEC Nation.
That's Tebow's game now. It's all Tebow, baby. Let's do it.
Well, it's Tebow and the former Bachelor Jordan Rogers will be joining.
I can't stand.
Great hair day out there. They can get me if they give me a call.
They'll never was.
I'll grow out a beard like Jesse Palmer. We'll do that.
I'm not.
I'll do rooms to
go
commercials.
Rogers fan.
$20. I'll do rooms to go commercials for you.
Like
Jesse Palmer's like, wait a second. We'd rather pay him $5 million. He gets more color. So who is that guy? It's not the same guy.
So a lot more couches that way.
Get a little salty. Adam Silver talking about the NBA and us returning. I think Kyrie Irving, a couple people are not speaking on behalf of everybody when they say we're not coming back. The NBA is going to play. And remember, LeBron James' voice is stronger than anybody's voice right now in the NBA. And if he's like, let's get back on the court, they're going to come back on the court.
Have you seen this story about the NBA Coaches Association? Like, they're worried about their coaches going out there and having to sacrifice their jobs basically because they're older, putting themselves at risk. Once again, I am going to come back to what I came back to yesterday. We've talked about this for months now. Why was this not an issue then? Why is it when we have everything placed now that this is all of a sudden an issue? I said this with the players yesterday, and now the Coaches Association, they're talking about Mike D'Antonio, Alvin Gentry, Greg Popovich not going to be able to be out there. Some of their, the assistants. It's like, honestly, I want to know if I'm going crazy, which I probably am anyway, but regardless, am I nuts on this? Like, we've known about this. Why has this not been an issue before? Why are they just now? The association has just now said, well, we fear the new league standards and guidelines could bar team staffers in high-risk categories. What did you think you were going to do playing in a bubble? They've talked about the bubble for 2 months now.
This league is worth billions, literally billions of dollars, and you can't say if you're over that age, because there's only a certain amount of coaches. But, yeah, if you're older, I understand. So here's the deal. What you do, it's real simple. You can either coach from up in the stands about 3 rows up away from these people, where during a timeout you can use a microphone if you want, or you just go ahead and talk. When there's a gym and there's nobody in it and you're that far, you can hear. Or even more, I guess you can say this is more like Stephen Hawking style, but have a guy on a TV and have him up in the booth and have them doing all the coaching from the sidelines, calling in like, hey, timeout, calling down on an earpiece to his assistant coach. And then during the timeout, you're on a TV monitor, and you're, like I said, it's a little sort of creepy, but they can do that. Yeah.
Think about Greg Popovich or sitting there watching the game, and he's on a monitor, and they're sliding him down the court, like following as he's yelling at guys.
Or one of the guys on his team doesn't agree, so he turns around the monitor and mutes it. And he's like, hey, he opens up the press box. I'm watching you, punk. Like, oh, well, and then he gets back down. But, I mean, we're laughing at that, but if that's what's stopping the games from happening, then do that. Nobody.
I agree. I promise you I agree. I just don't know why this is all of a sudden a big deal when we've known about this. We've known about the bubble. Now we're talking about, well, now because of the guidelines. The guidelines haven't really changed. It's the same. We're putting you in a bubble. Teams are going to stay in hotels, which, by the way, did you see the hotels? Basically, the really nice hotels are for the best teams.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the worst hotels are for the bottom feeders.
I saw that.
It's awesome.
Like the Swan and Dolphin and some of the other guys. Like,
it's awesome.
That's awesome right there.
That is. And then they can invite, like, look. By the way, have you read a lot of this stuff? Like, they're having personal barbers, like their own home, favorite barbers for all these guys. It's basically like arcades, all this, every amenity, movie theaters, everything like this is for these people. It's going to be like you would pay an unbelievable amount of money to go on vacation to get this kind of stuff. And they're doing that just to make it kind of like home for these players.
Yeah, Disney can fork up a little for this. They're going to be okay on this.
Just saying, it's not like they're just going to have a tough time.
Do you think they're going to have to play in, like, let's make a mockery. Any more coaches that say they can't play because of this? Make them dress in the characters, like Goofy and Dumbo and all the people like that.
Like, just let
Jasmine,
Mickey coach the team.
Greg Popovich is Jasmine. Like, just make them. I mean, honestly, listen. And what we're saying is, when I say all of this, I hope people understand that if a 65 or 70-year-old coach says, I don't want to coach next to players, you need to respect that. Because, right. I mean, we're not saying that but you either don't coach then, and you have your assistant do it, or you coach from the booth, or you coach from up a little bit further up. You don't go into the locker room. You can do it from a monitor before the game. I mean,
but how is it going to be any different? That's what I'm saying on all this. How were they going to be able to suffice where these guys could be next to each other?
They're just making it.
The entire time it was going to be this way.
It's obvious why it's happening.
If you're older, then you'd have to separate, obviously. So that's where I'm like, what? Why
Two of the three coaches, too. And like I said, I am trying to peacefully just keep everything to sports today and just go on. But to me, factual numbers of 2 of the 3 coaches that said that have been shown in videos peacefully protesting with other people in groups of like 30 around them. But now they say they can't sit next to 12 on a bench. That's what I said. This has nothing to do with how anybody feels. It's facts. It's numbers. So don't say you can stand around 30, but you can't around for 12.
Right.
I mean, it's just that's. Let's take a break. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV.
Introducing Beehive Homes of Gulf Breeze, an all-inclusive facility with incredible amenities and a BS and RN on staff for healthcare management, with the best staff to resident ratio in the Panhandle. There's a new additional home opening in June with a beautiful and secure nature walk between the residents and all of the great activities, transportation, and wonderful features that make them stand above the rest. Beehive Homes of Gulf Breeze on Gulf Breeze Parkway and beehivehomesofgulfbreeze.com. Call 850-688-9199.
Pensacola's own NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith has some tips for us during this time.
This fight is up to all of us to try to help bend that curve. It's going to take teamwork. It's going to take us to stay committed, stay focused, and stay dedicated to the mission at hand, and that is to keep everyone safe. So be encouraging. Find some support. Find someone to talk to every day to encourage them to keep on continuing in this fight. And we will beat this pandemic.
Here are the ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM contest rules. You can win one prize per household per contest in any 30-day period, unless specified by individual contest rules. All prizes are non-transferable, non-redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other contest prize. Prizes must be redeemed within a 30-day period of winning and must be 18 years of age or older to win. For a complete list of rules, visit ESPNpensacola.com. Here are the ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM contest rules. You can win one prize per household per contest in any 30-day period, unless specified by individual contest rules. All prizes are non-transferable, non-redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other contest prize. Prizes must be redeemed within a 30-day period of winning and must be 18 years of age or older to win. For a complete list of rules, visit ESPNpensacola.com. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Pensacola's home to hometown sports, covering the biggest high school games. UWF football, catching every game of the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Plus, local sports commentary with the Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. And weekend sports talk with Davis Allen and Justin Patrick on the Sports Call. We are local. We are ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Matt Kenseth. You don't have to be a race car driver to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you can't control, like mechanical issues, high winds, and rain delays. But there's some drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and leave the drama for the racetrack.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
In Pensacola, local and national sports live here. Catch the play-by-play of every game of the Pensacola Blue Wahoos and your national champion West Florida Argonauts football team. Your local high school football games during football season are here, along with the best local sports talk in the biz with Talk Football and the Sports Drive weekdays and Sports Call every Saturday. When it comes to sports radio, there's only one place, ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. We do sports, and that's all we do. We're your hometown sports station, ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Still alive. No big. I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Simulcast each and every day on Blab TV. Chad Brillante. Don't judge me with this jacket. I do understand it's like 100 degrees outside. It was freezing.
It's like 100 degrees in here.
It is now. I just don't want to. There's a reason. But,
yeah, it's a nice jacket. You didn't pay a lot for it. You got a great deal.
It's like a Snuggie right now. It's been a long day. Listen,
can I wear a Snuggie?
I sprayed pepper spray.
Can I wear a Snuggie tomorrow?
On accident. Hey, can you? You can wear it whatever you want. Well, that's not true. But as long as you have your mask on, you can.
That's
you can.
True. All right.
Don't go if you're in Maryland now. You have the cutoff shirt. That's a. You get arrested for that, right?
You're
there.
done.
You get it's a legit law right there. Cut off sleeves. The people that do cut off sleeves for the most part, unless you're German, And sorry, that was probably wrong. But if you go to any like a beach, the Germans that wear you know what I'm talking about though, with like short shorts and the sandals. But outside of that, and most people that wear it are people that you're not going to want to walk up to and like give them a ticket. There's a real law in Maryland. If you wear a cutoff sleeve shirt in public, like in a restaurant, like you're just out having coffee with the wife and the kids before school, and they come, sir, can you step out of? You just wear this. First off, that's a little awkward to bring the kids out and just cut off. But you're sitting there and you get a ticket for it. Imagine that guy though, like the big guy like McGuire size, and you have to walk up and be that cop, brand new on the job, and you have to tell him in front of people. You might have just left the gym, so you're gonna have to step out here. I would love to see that. I'd love to see these laws get enforced. 10 miles per hour is a horse speed limit in Indiana. I'd love to see you, some cowboy out there going 20 on a horse. And you just stop him.
High-speed chase.
You cut him off in your car. In front of him. The horse goes up. He's taking people on a tour, like a local tour, and his Bloomington tours, like the whole family on vacation. That horse is going 15. It's walking.
How do you have a gun that reads that?
A horse gun right there. That's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Just a regular gun, by the way. You wouldn't need it.
No.
Okay. But looking at the most career earnings by a quarterback, here's a little ditty for you. Who do you think it is? I'll give you a little time. So obviously, let's use a little bit of knowledge of. I'm sure it's not anybody from the early days because they got paid like 1/3 of what it was at the most. Like Johnny Unitas is not on here. Like Cy Young pitched like 8 billion games, but he probably made like popcorn. Like it was not. Yeah. Okay. Anybody? I'll give you a couple. I'll throw out a couple names: Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Carson Palmer, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning.
Ooh. Interesting name and all that's Carson Palmer, but I will go with Matt Ryan.
He is 5th.
Wow, I wasn't even close.
Okay, I'm getting here. He was the highest.
Where are you getting this
No.
from? You're just like
I'm
somebody
getting some
radioed
of the ear.
Someone's
radio. We're on top of this. We got people everywhere we go. Off the wire, fresh off the. You know, people are like fresh off the wire. Like we haven't used the wire in like 30 years. It's like on the internet. You mean on a tweet?
The Patriots have. They use it all the
time. Matt Ryan actually, they took $50 million out of his bank account after that 28-3 debacle. He didn't even know it, so he was. But they just went to his house and took it right out. He's like, "This is illegal." He's like, "What you did was a crime.
Shameful, sir.
What you did was a crime to our city in the ATL, not Hotlanta that day." No, it's Eli Manning.
Wow.
$252.3 million. Yeah, he beat out his brother too. That had that high school brother. His brother had $248.7 million. Obviously Cooper. No, I'm just joking. But Peyton was only $3.5-4 million behind it, and then third is Drew Brees, and then Tom Brady.
Tom Brady made more than Matt Ryan?
Maybe that's why Tom's playing all this. We didn't even know these stats, but he's like, I'm going to be the highest paid quarterback. Like,
that's what he's doing.
My wife makes more than me per year. I'm not having this right now.
It's a lot more than him per year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's shameful that and here probably next year that Patrick Mahomes will make that in 1 year.
Yes.
You imagine is that contract going to be $50 million?
It should be though.
Is it going to be though?
Yeah, I think so. I think no matter what though, if you're Patrick Mahomes, there's very few players like what Dak Prescott's doing. People are like, take your 35, take the most money. You're an 8-8 quarterback. You're 1-6 all time. 1-6 all time.
6-17 all time.
6-17 all time. He was 1-6 last year against teams that made the postseason. So the guy that wants the most money, and then he's offering, and even when they offer you the most money of any quarterback, you want more money when you are 1-6 and in one of the worst divisions you'll ever get in football history, and that's the money you want. A lot of people aren't hearing that. Patrick Mahomes is the guy that did everything. Without him, Kansas City had no chance
with
of winning.
Dak Prescott, though, because what people will say is it's a team game. But I rebuttal that.
That's what I say in New England when Stidham's here this year.
25 touchdowns all time and 25 interceptions in that 6-17 record.
That's exactly what every Patriot fan says.
That's what Jameis Winston.
That's what LSU's saying too right now. Miles Brennan, Joe Burrow. It's a team game. Team game, brother. Nobody says that. I mean, they do say that, but they're wrong.
But I'm saying, like, that's your stats to put up against that. You say it's a team game, but remember this with Dak Prescott, too. We talked about this on Talk Football. Best offensive line he's had there. He's had some pretty good receivers.
Yeah,
he's had Ezekiel Elliott behind him as well. So I get if your defense is giving up like 40 points a game or whatever, but you still got to go out and perform. 25 touchdowns, 25 interceptions is not going to cut it when you're talking about being the highest paid quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm not going to buy into it.
If you had a quarterback for one season right now, not all time, because you got to look at like Lamar Jackson. I mean, I have to say this, but if I'm starting a team, I'm going to take Lamar Jackson over Tom Brady because he might only have 1 year left, and you hopefully get 8 or 9 years, even if people call him running back / whatever. But quarterback as the MVP, Lamar, he hasn't won a playoff game yet, but you got to look at the longevity of what you have when you're doing that.
Right.
Phillip Rivers and guys like Big Ben, they don't have the value.
1 or 2 years.
Yeah,
typically.
maybe. So you got to look at that. But for one season, my list would be Mahomes for sure. And then that's where you argue. Is it Rodgers? Is it Breeze? Is it Brady? I still probably would put Breeze or Brady right there just because, they're still ridiculous. Remember, last year people whined and said that, like, New England, like, what's wrong with them? It was the worst wide receiving core almost in the history of football. The offensive line had 2 injuries. The first 3 games of the season when Tom Brady had Josh Gordon and he also had Antonio Brown, they were beating teams 106-3 in their first 3 games of the season. 106-3 was the score of their first 3 games. One of them was against Pittsburgh, and they dominated those teams 33-0, 40-0.
One of the top 5 defenses.
Yes, they crushed them. People were talking about this being maybe his best season, and then all of a sudden they still finished losing because I didn't get to watch the game. You were the first one tweeting that, but. No, they lose to Miami. If they didn't lose to Miami in a game-winning drive from Fitzpatrick, they're 13-3, and they're saying it was a mockery season. So Tom Brady's still got it, and I'm tired of seeing it now this year because he's going to be doing it in Tampa.
Yeah, well, it goes back to they had the second worst receiving core because when you go back
with the Eagles,
God, that was so bad. That's like they had no wide receivers.
I'll hear that.
None.
But you would take the Eagles' offensive line and you take their I was going to say running game, but Boston Scott.
He was playing wide receiver.
I don't know, but it was
Miles Sanders pretty good though.
Yeah, I lost your Titans.
By the way, did you see Lamar said, "Yeah, we underestimated the Titans." He said that. I'm like,
really?
Obviously, you did. Like, yes, we know. But once again, it's something that why is that news right now?
Because why isn't anything? Because why isn't anything?
I
news?
agree. But
if
we underestimated the Titans, and that was front page, on the top, right there. I'm like, okay.
When you're about to go to jail for 30 years, and someone's like,
no,
I don't know that. But you when you've seen the movies,
somebody's going, yes,
speak now, or speak now. This is your chance to say something to us. We're still locking you up, but this is your moment. That's how I feel for sports right now. If you're an athlete, just say something now, because once the season starts. Lamar would have made that comment during the season and be like, yep, great, that's cool. Who do you like? Ravens? Yeah, I did think they win it. Once it starts, these quarterback battles, all of this stuff, when the football season starts, all of that for the most part. Now, I'm not saying everything that happened this year with the protests and everything. It's going to still be, hopefully the culture will change, and a lot of people are pretty adamant on what they're going to do, and a lot of things will. I hope a lot of things, we know change is coming.
Yep.
You and I think, are in the same boat. We just hope that the change is for the best. And what I mean is, whether you agree listening or I agree, I don't want to see any more, like I said, I don't want to see any more bullseye shirts in Buffalo with Colin Kaepernick with a deer. They're pretty much using him as practice to hunt him down. They're selling shirts outside the stadium and 20,000. The Bills Mafia was wearing those shirts. They weren't the only ones that felt that way at the time, and a lot of people still gave up on the NFL for it. And you know what? I grew up in a military family at the time, and I still say I feel one way, but I also respect people's decisions and what they have and fully understand that it's not about that. And it's going to change, though. I just hope that we know it's going to happen instead of arguing oh, when they see it, oh, my gosh. Kyler Murray came out today, and he's like, yeah, I'll be taking a knee. Before this happens, though, I hope we peacefully can understand a way to demonstrate that we're there to watch football. That's what I hope that people, because it will happen.
Prepare yourself for it.
So I just hope that instead of, there are going to be plenty of people that will not be unified over this, and that's not going to change anything. It's not going to change people. But a lot of people will be changed. A lot of people have been changed. And hopefully it's a lot more peaceful than it is negative. Because right now, it was going great for us until they blocked the bridge. But, it was the peaceful protests were going great. Everything.
Yeah.
Looking at Mike Leach, 59 years old. Can he make it to 69? That's how old he has to be in order to get to the 2030. Hey, look at that right there. Just so happened to fall in that number. If he was 63, I would have written it down to 73 too. Mike Leach, though, has a chance.
He looks older than 59.
He does. He's been aged. Yeah, he's been aged. I think that lawsuit from Craig James aged him about 5 years, locking his son in the shed. Right there.
Talking about Pirates.
How funny of a story is that, though?
Vikings.
Everybody was like that kid deserved it, pretty much. Yeah. Locking the kid
Get in there.
Get in the shed. That's so like Craig. 1940s, like in a time that everybody is afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
But that's so like that's old. That's like old black and white kind of movies. Kid doesn't agree with it. Get in the shed. Get him in the shed right there. But you know what? Mike Leach, at the age of 69, that's how old he'll have to be to see the Leach Bowl, which would be Mississippi State and Washington State battle it out, because that game's coming in 2030. Nothing like those breaking stories.
I can't wait. I don't know how I'll be able to sleep at night.
Once again, if you're going to say something, this is your time, right? 10 years out for a game. Most people will be like, 2030? Well, this is the time. This is the time to make it happen right there. Looking at the situation as well, who do you think would be the best SEC Nation team? It looks like it will go with Tim Tebow. They're going to keep Laura Rutledge.
Good. Solid.
And then as well with Aaron Rodgers' son. I mean, brother, Jordan Rodgers. Yeah, his son. Sure, why not? Marcus Spears and Paul Feinbaum. If you combine them into one, they are just one guy, like polar opposites, sit next to each other based on the size of Feinbaum weighs like $130, and then Marcus Spears is like 350. I mean,
well, Feinbaum's also so old school, and then Marcus Spears is all about today,
the
here and now. So it's just like the complete person.
What about 3 Booger McFarlands? Just like more.
Isn't that what? Never mind. I thought that's what he was.
It's
Booger McFarland. You know what? Look, I will say this: as much has been thrown at him, he's been about as humble as you can be going through it all. And for me personally, I'd be like, you know what? I quit. I'm out of here. Like he's just keeps showing up every day, going to work, and being like, you know what? Yep. I screwed up.
Booger McFarland, though, too. Could be one of those guys, though, that he's not going to go down as one of the greatest. Obviously, I have to laugh when saying that. But he also makes the game more intriguing. Like if you get a game with Tessitore and Booger, like you're actually like looking forward to hear it. Yeah, exactly. He's circling plays when it was live. It was live. It was live in the playoff, and he's circling the plays. They're like, you got to get that. But then, the old. It's better to be heard, I guess you can say. But Booger McFarland on a 3rd down and 10, no joke, in the playoffs, told the Bills, run a draw play, which would bring up 4th down and 5, and then just get up and spike it, which would be a turnover on downs. Is this it right here?
I think this is it.
This is Booger McFarland pass.
I tell you what, if I'm Sean McDermott at this point, you almost just run a quick draw play, get a few yards, spike it.
3rd and 10. Joe Tessitore is making it clear that if you do that, you will turn the ball over. I just want to get a couple yards and spike it. So on 3rd down, make it about 3rd and 7. I mean 4th and 7, and then a quick spike and get the ball. But it's okay. I mean, it's not okay to say that actually. But you know what?
It happens. You know, like it is what it is. I guess
that's the answer, right? It happens. Let's go ahead and take a break. This is the.
Yep. I tell you what, if I'm Sean McDermott at this point, you almost just run a quick draw play, get a few yards, spike it.
3rd and 10. Coming back for more right here on the Sports Drive.
Pensacola's own NFL Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith has some tips for us during this time.
This fight is up to all of us to try to help bend that curve. It's going to take teamwork. It's going to take us to stay committed, stay focused, and stay dedicated to the mission at hand, and that is to keep everyone safe. So be encouraging. Find some support. Find someone to talk to every day to encourage them to keep on continuing in this fight. And we will beat this pandemic.
Locally owned Jackson Pace Pharmacy has exciting news for ED patients. Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic for Cialis, is now here, and the cost savings are huge. Save 80% on the 20 milligram tablets, 30 tablets for $80, less than $3 a pill. A prescription from your doctor is required, so stop by Jackson Pace Pharmacy, 2256 West 9 Mile Road in Pensacola, and cash in on the savings today.
Hurricane season is upon us, and although we aim to bring you the latest news in sports, we're committed to bringing the Pensacola community the latest updates and information during the 2020 hurricane season. In collaboration with our sister stations, News Radio 92.3 AM 1620 and Cat Country 98.7, stay up to date with breaking weather news and updates on the biggest storms impacting Northwest Florida by checking our Facebook pages at Cat Country 98.7, News Radio 92.3, and ESPN Pensacola.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
JP here. At ESPN Pensacola, we are hometown proud. Like the greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time, Roy Jones Jr.
Three-time light heavyweight world champion and former heavyweight champion of the world, future Hall of Fame legend, Roy Jones Jr.
What up? This is your boy Roy Jones Jr. and you're listening to ESPN Pensacola.
Football season never ends on Talk Football with Coach K.
Stidham is tearing it up at New England. He may well be the incumbent to Tom Brady there.
Former head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Coach K brings his expertise as he breaks down the game, the players, the coaches, and the front office. Plus, high-profile interviews from the biggest names in football. Talk Football with Coach K every weekday from noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
This is Davis Allen from Sports Call with Davis and Justin. You're listening to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Reasons to dance. Welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. How about them boys? How about them Cowboys, man? Okay, people are asking Jerry Jones what to come back out and say things. Let's stop. Let's get off his case, and not because because really, he's not going to say what you want him to say. That's it. Moving on from that.
That's why I think people want him to come out, though.
Because, they want to, what do you think of everything
Even
going
if he says the right thing, it's not going to be what people want.
He's not, no. And then if he does, then it's like you're completely lying to us.
Yeah.
We don't buy it anyway. So, I mean, he's not going to it is, if one thing, not their pizza, they had better ingredients, but if Papa John taught us anything.
He said the day of reckoning was coming.
Well, Papa John, he also was the first one immediately during all that. Like, a lot of people laid low and just were like, you know what, I don't like it, but I understand. He immediately was like, this is the worst thing when Kaepernick and everything, and immediately he was out. Like, was his name Papa John? It's not a fake. It's not one of those like the Noid from Domino. He's actually John Schnatter or whatever. It was actually his company, and he's gone. And he got kicked out of his own company. He's named after it, and
yeah, nice.
Him and Richie Pizza Hut were like guys that were named after their companies. You know, Richie Pizza Hut, the Pizza Hut family were nice people.
Don't Pizza the Hut.
But it just gets to a point though. People need to understand that if you're not going to say anything and you're that, it's better to lay low and not say anything at all. And when people are like, well, that's not right not to come out. If you know what they're going to say is going to stir it up, then don't say that. Jim Rome had an interview one time.
Oh, that'll be good.
With David Stern, and it was when pretty much all the different players and were in the lockout kind of thing, and he pretty much like put him on the spot to say, do you think that? Oh, it was the referees. He says, do you think most of your referees are cheaters? And I'm like, the second he asked that question, like if somebody was going to answer it, it might be an intriguing kind of like you put the music behind, you get all excited. Jerry Springer, your kid is yours. Yeah, like one of those moments on Maury Poe. I told you, Donna. I told you for 14 years, Donna. Like that could have been that moment. But you knew that David Stern wasn't going to answer him the question. Well, yes, actually, Jim, 100%. They're all just
Everybody's
a bunch
cheaters,
of slimy
the entire
cheats.
league.
They're all, I hire nothing but people that are just stealing money out of everyone's pockets out of here. Like, he was pretty much just like, okay, next question, as you expected. And he kept going, like the Chris Everett. Call me it one more time. With Jim Everett back then.
That was awesome.
That was funny. But when you get to that point, though, you realize that you're not going to get the answer. So people get off. Jerry Jones is not going to give you the answer you want to hear. So, and he also wants that spot back in Arkansas and his wine and club out there with his. But when it comes down to what's going on right now in college baseball, well, college baseball has already had a couple games thrown our way. That was pretty cool to see some of those games. When are they expected? Is college baseball going to wait until next year, at the spring of next year?
Yeah, they're actually talking about bumping the season back where it finishes like later in the summer, which I'm cool with that. That's fine. Give you more baseball, I guess. Regardless. If it makes more games on TV, I'm all for it. I love watching college baseball. I really do.
Would you go with all time? What's the greatest college baseball player you've ever watched? They came out with their list. ESPN came out. There were some guys on there, by the way, I didn't even know. I've watched a lot of college.
Reading that list was
Georgia Tech. What the heck, man? Like half the teams. Georgia Tech, Matt Wieters, Noma. I knew that, but there's a ton of players.
I remember watching Wieters.
Yeah, he was awesome coming out.
Yeah, Wieters was awesome.
Strasburg's the only guy that I remember that they cut from your regular program to bring him.
Yes.
Like they would be like.
Because he played for somebody that you weren't going to watch on TV.
Well, you knew who the coach was, right?
Was it? Wait, who?
San Diego State's coach.
Wasn't Gwynn, was it?
It was Tony Gwynn. I don't know if it was that year. Now you're making me double think this, but
let me Google
this. Yeah,
yeah, because
Gwynn was the coach of San Diego State.
Yeah, I know,
but I don't know if it's the same year as Strasburg.
Let me find out though.
But I mean, he was the guy, Buck 03. He was the guy that were like, this guy's sweet. He's gonna have arm surgery and probably like. But guess what?
They were trying to rush him to go ahead and get it.
Just was the MVP of the World Series, so he's doing okay for himself these days.
Yeah, he's all right.
He didn't go to New York. He's doing a lot better. Proud of you. Got paid like $400 million, but I'm proud of you not to go there. Why, Chad? Why would you say that? Well, I just don't want anyone to go to New York. I was willing to sacrifice something very valuable, possibly, for like $9 because I hate New York so much, and you got it.
It's true. I did get it.
That's true.
Absolutely, I did.
That thing's face value probably $300 or so. Some collectible right there that was a heck of a steal. One of those kind of things. Pawn shops would go like just run at it.
Tony Gwynn was there.
Yeah.
He was their coach until 2014.
Thought he was, but right now, Dayquil's starting to kick off. It's ready for the NyQuil, so I was
it's just like, hey, where's it at?
I was like, you could be like, I could go to dinner right now and hand the guy $20 for the meal and he'd be like, sir, you hadn't paid me, and I'd be like, I could have sworn I just handed you a $20. Like,
you got it.
Sure.
Would single season though, Buster Posey, what he did, is he one of your?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Buster Posey was amazing. Who's more famous in college, Buster Posey, J.D. Drew, or, I mean, I guess you have to put, I would say that. Jameis, he was on the team, but no, I would say
Bregman ahead of him.
Well, I'm talking about Florida State though.
Oh, Florida State.
J.D. Drew, Buster Posey, and then you had.
God, they had so many though.
They've had so many good players. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Posey's the guy though.
Yeah, Posey because Posey. Behind the plate, what he did offensively, batting over like 450, and then coming out in to finish the game, like close the games out. That was the greatest thing. And we went to, my father brought me to a lot of their games, so I got to watch him. That was the coolest thing. A huge fan, but watching him go from behind the plate, and then it's like in between, they're like, all right, Mike Martin walks out. So he's like, let's go. Let's get it going. And then he just takes the gear off, goes out there, throws like 5 pitches. He's like, I'm good. Let's go. And then boom, boom, boom. Game's over. I just thought that was so awesome. Buster Posey, such a special player.
Can't you see Dustin Pedroia? He was at Arizona State. Can't you see him like bringing in the keg? Hi-oh, like Arizona State.
Bigger than him.
Oh yeah,
The keg's way bigger than him.
Yeah, he is. But you can see he's that guy, like not the biggest guy, not the the one the ladies like ooh la la, but he's just the party, and he's really good at what he does, and he's always been. His career. Do you think if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been on a Hall of Fame path?
Yes.
He won the MVP, didn't he? Let's try to get this call in. 850-623-1330. Caller, who's this?
Hey, Chad, it's Chris again. How's it going?
Hey, Chris. Well, physically, it's a bit of a rotten day, but overall, I'm happy to be here.
Well, I know, man. Just wanted to get you guys' opinion on something. Does it sound like we're going to play baseball in July, or are we going to not play baseball? What's up?
Well, I mean, the thing is, this show can be archived in like 4 months, and it's still relevant. We have no clue right now. It's, we've been saying this forever. I think we will. I mean, because the players are all coming out and saying like we want to play. I thought that was a decent proposal. The owners are not going to give them exactly what they want, but when things take 4 or 5 months, it's very rare that everybody comes back to some ridiculous deal. That's why the bargaining, you chip it down and you finally come to that price. I think we're going to have a deal done, though. I would say this. I'm ready to go this far. I'm ready to make this happen. By the end before we're done with Friday's show, we'll have a deal done. Before this week's done, we'll have some kind of deal in place. Now, it's not going to play until July, but I think before Father's Day weekend, that's going to be a great gift for all of us out there, all the pops out there.
That'd be perfect time.
I think it will be, too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be done.
I think it will be, too. I think it'll be nice. I think it'll be nice to get a deal done, but here's the next thing. We got the Wahoos here. Is there going to be a minor league season? Can you play 30 games with
they're
them?
already done. And it's not – they had to – a lot of those guys, if they do play the season, are going to get called up to Minnesota. They're going to increase the rosters. And on top of that, all the leagues across the board had to come together, and there just wasn't enough money. They didn't have big enough – I mean, Quinn and Rishi, we're lucky to have them. But Quinn also has invested a lot of money into this city and has the money where he's going to take a huge hit this year for the team, but he's also knowing that they're going to be – we know the Wahoos are going to be able to survive. Remember, last year, even before COVID, you had over on 65 on government. The Bay Bears were shut down. They weren't making enough. Not everybody's like the Wahoos. A lot of these teams in minor league – I call minor league baseball. JP's been around the game, and they're not like it. And they just didn't have enough money, Chris. And so they're not playing this year in the Southern League.
Well, and that's another thing, too. I have a friend of mine that works at the UWF athletic department, and that may be something big this year. That could be a big boost of revenue to help the Bayfront Stadium and also help the folks get ready for next year, because UWF's going to be able to play. I mean, we think they're going to be able to play unless they want to cause a worldwide panic riot down here. You talking about riots? Everybody, if you cancel college football in the South, everybody will be at their respective college team's location with picket fences.
You're right, Chris. I'm so glad. That's in most people, whether they admit it or not. A lot of people right now are just knowing that college football is right around the corner, sports fans, and are just so excited. But, Chris, we do have to take a break, and I hope you we'll talk here soon. Don't be a stranger. Calling all the time.
I appreciate it, Chad. Thank you, man.
All right, appreciate it. Chris giving us a call right there. No Freddie Freeman talk. We're just getting right to the fan.
Hey, you know better. You learned your lesson.
I like Freddie.
You learned your lesson.
Freddie Krueger. Coming back for more Sports Drive. I'm not going to do that again. Sports Drive. ESPN
At
Pensacola.
Costello's Butcher Shop and Deli, you'll find a great selection of specialty and exotic meats. From choice Wagyu, competition-grade briskets, pork, and the seasonings to go with it, all cut to order. From fine wine to cheese and desserts. Yes, delicious fresh cannolis to order. And Costello's has Boar's Head lunch sandwiches from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Stop in today for one of the area's best butcher shop meats and top deli items. It's Costello's Butcher Shop and Deli, a great place to meet up on the west side of Pensacola. Hey, seafood lovers, Shannon's Seafood Kitchen is open with dining inside and outside, as well as touchless curbside pickup. The best catfish this side of the Mississippi, homemade gumbo, jumbo fried shrimp, hand-rolled Filipino-style lumpia, po' boys piled high with fresh seafood, coastal fried flounder, and fresh mullet every day. They continue to take precautions for your safety, whether you dine in or take out. Open Tuesday through Saturday at 11, 7000 Pine Forest Road, or call 941-1982. Shannon's Seafood Kitchen.
From first take to your radio.
Zion, 16 games.
Okay, how many games do they have left? About 20, 22 games. All right, so he ain't gonna even reach 40 games. Damn it, I mean, this first year in the NBA, which he's getting paid for, it's like a college season that do. Give a damn about no back-to-back. You're 19 years old. 19 years old. All right, figure it out.
1 to 2 weekday afternoons on ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Might as well just play it out here. You got about 35 seconds. Jumping around there, Rally Monkey coming out. That's all I think about when that Rally Monkey. Giants fans. The things PETA would not want to see what they would do to that Rally Monkey.
No, not at all.
Adam Kennedy's he probably has a picture frame of that thing. Every time he came out, he had like a 3-run bomb. Crushed it. Garrett Anderson down the corner. Tim Salmon. Salmon and Trout in the outfield. There's a rule. There must be some hidden secret. You have to have a name of some type of fish.
You got to grill it on the.
Yeah.
Tim
when Mike
Salmon.
Trout retires, it's going to be Brandon Bass pitched for him too. But if you had
time to be alive.
Speckled Trout, Richie Speckled Trout. Hey, listen, Triple Tail, Jack Triple Tail. That would be a good one right there. I like that. That's the rest of our show. We're just gonna Pete Marlin. Let's just Sterling Sun. Come on, let's do this. Why not? Right? Richie Tuna. I'm excited, man. Johnny Catfish coming back. That's all the time we have for today's show.
Catfish Hunter.
Have a great rest of your day. For JP, for Eric, and everybody back at Blab, I'm Chad. God bless.
Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up if you got the feeling. Jump up, touch the ceiling, monks, let's a funk flow. Someone's talking junk, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punks out, feeling funky. Amps in a trunk and I got more rhymes than this cops at a Dunkin' Donut shop. Sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down, so get out your seat and jump around. Jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 jump. I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If your girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. I got more rhymes than the Bible's got psalms. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none.
Yeah, no, that we were talking about that place. Get them right now. Porterhouses, 20 ounces for $5 a piece.
No way.
20-ounce porterhouse. Yeah, good stuff
Serious?
too. Top quality, 100%. Yeah. Oh, we're back. Okay. Welcome back. Major League Baseball right now making a 60-game offer.
Forget all that. Let's go back to the porterhouse.
Stop, please. Kobe Bryant. They're not supposed to know these conversations. Kobe. They're talking about. I don't want to bring this back up. I'm so sad for the whole situation. It's not going to change it, but they said the pilot in Kobe Bryant's crash was disoriented in the fog. Look, it was just a tough situation overall, and one that was the first story before we didn't know what 2020 was going to lead us down to. But
Porterhouse don't sound so bad, huh?
Shh. Looking at the situation with some good soccer games today. Well, in the Premier League, you had a 0-0 tie right there between 0-0, Aston Villa and Sheffield United. What the difference is, the goalie actually for Aston Villa was in the goal. And they said that they didn't have enough evidence to show it. They showed it later on the same video that apparently people had no evidence. He was inside the goal. And a 0-0 game in the Premier League, that was probably pretty important right there. Team lost right there. By the way, in penalty shots, the Italian Coppa Italia, right there, Italia, a win by Napoli over Juventus in penalty kicks. Sorry, Ronaldo.
This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, sports call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Company on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
It's Spain and Company. Sarah Spain, Jordan Cornette, ESPN Radio, ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. And joining us now on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line from the Undefeated, it's Justin Tinsley. Justin, thanks for the time.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to talk to you about, but I wanted to start with, on Friday we're recognizing on our network and our radio air a celebration and an educational opportunity surrounding Juneteenth, which a lot of people don't know much about. And the NFL has made it officially a holiday. A lot of places have elected not to have work in order to observe it. Can you give us more of a background for those who don't know what it is or why maybe this year it's taken on a special prominence?
Well, it's taken on a special prominence this year, just given the state of the country in terms of social unrest. And I remember learning about Juneteenth when I was younger, and I always thought it was wild that it was 1865 when slaves told they were free, when in actuality, the Emancipation Proclamation happened in 1863. But, it's also not surprising that it's taken for 2020 to happen, that this country is really learning about what this history